Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. And it's the game against Spurs today. A game, even I mean I don't know why this happens, but always in the game against Spurs, form goes out of the window. Traditionally, last season, I think we lost to Spurs away. We won at home. We were 2-0 down halftime at home. The season before that, we were 2-0 down. Sorry, Antonio Conte Spurs were on a three-game losing streak. They come to the Etihad and they beat us. They beat us home and away last time. I mean, and with Spurs, there's always the question of VAR. VAR always right from the Champions League. Round of 16 match. Every time we have played Spurs, there's some or the other VAR controversy happening. So it's going to be a fascinating game. It's going to be a very interesting game, I would say. I mean, if I look at the lineup, I think this is the best lineup that Pep Guardiola has at the moment right now. Probably the only change is I think Guardiola goes out, Nathan Ake comes in. Apart from that, I think this is the best City have got right now. Rodri, Akanji in the midfield. Of course, it's Stone still not back from injury. Bernardo Silva. I think Bernardo Silva will play outside on the wing, and Foden will come in the middle after that sensational performance from Foden against RB Leipzig. So I think this is the best team that Pep Guardiola has got right now, apart from Guardiola and Ake Switch. This is the best. Grealish not in form. Doku over Grealish. I mean, another reason why I would want Foden to come into the midfield is if it's just Doku there, what they're doing is opposition teams are cutting out the supply to Haaland from the midfield because I don't think Bernardo Silva and Julian Alvarez is as creative as a Kevin De Bruyne or even a Phil Foden. So what people are doing is teams are cutting out the supply line from the middle and they're doubling up on Doku. This means that two of our outlets are actually closed. So I think with Foden in the midfield, I think it's not so easy to cut off that ball to Haaland, which means you can't, you know, concentrate too much on Jeremy Doku because that will leave space for Haaland to put his balls in and things like that. Another thing is, I would want Josko Guardiola to overlap Doku much more. I think Doku is a traditional winger, not even more than Grealish. And with traditional wingers, you've seen when a fullback goes on the outside overlapping them. I actually think that it's much more beneficial and it causes a lot of uh, difficulty for the opposition. Even against Liverpool, I thought if we had someone who could overlap Doku, for example, I think Doku was already having Trent on toast. But if we had a winger, if we had a fullback who could overlap Doku, I think it would have been much more difficult for Liverpool. Have seen that Liverpool match? Fulham, bloody Fulham, who are struggling to score goals this season, have put three past Liverpool, and we at the Etihad have just put one. And I'm still thinking about the game, and my thoughts are, how did we not win against Liverpool? So I just don't know how we did not win against that Liverpool side, to be honest. But anyway, the players are coming onto the pitch. Pep Guardiola today in his press conference, interestingly, was telling that he was not happy with the fact that we conceded four against Chelsea. He was telling there are problems. Yeah, especially when you concede four goals. Pep was telling there are certainly problems and we need to address them. He was referring to Ruben Diaz. I mean, he didn't tell the name, but you could sense it by his press conference that he was referring to problems at the back. He was telling that you cannot concede four goals in a game. I mean, you score four goals in a game, home or away, you should be winning them. You cannot concede four goals to the opposition. So that's what Pep was actually telling. Bayaji is here. Hey, Bayaji, how are you doing? Bayaji says, why Alvarez again? I watched Chelsea match again and he lost the ball so many times. Bang average in big games. I just think, Bayaji, that Pep is playing Alvarez to compensate for that lack of press from Erling Haaland. I think Erling Haaland is not the best at pressing the ball, and I think I think Pep acknowledges the fact. Pep acknowledges that fact and he thinks pressing is not the strongest facet of Erling Haaland, then who does the pressing? Who presses from front? I think it's Julian Alvarez is the answer. Because Kevin De Bruyne, I mean, people don't acknowledge it, but De Bruyne is a very good presser of the ball. So I actually think Pep is playing Alvarez in there for that energy, for that pressing of the ball, for that off the ball defensive work. I think by Aji you can rate Alvarez season to two parts. I think off the ball work and on the ball work. Off the ball work, I think Alvarez has been the best player at City this season on off the ball work. But on the ball work, equally has been, I would say, in the bottom three players in the City side. So I, and I think at this moment Pep is favoring the off the ball work to for the respect to Alvarez, and also I think Pep slowly wants to put Bernardo on the right, and he wants to bring Foden into the middle, and with Foden, Foden sometimes with his creative passing and stuff, Foden gives the ball away, and Pep thinks you need someone like an Alvarez to get that ball back, put that defensive work rate in the middle of the park. So I think that's one of the reasons why he's playing Alvarez there. So Alvarez season is simple: off the ball and on the ball. Off the ball, the best player for City, and on the ball, one of the worst players for City because he holds on to the ball too much. I mean, even against Liverpool, I think even against Liverpool, Alvarez was one of the worst players on the pitch. But against Leipzig, Alvarez changed the game. And what was the difference between Liverpool and what was the difference between Leipzig? For me, against Leipzig, Alvarez was almost playing as a striker. If you see Haaland far post, Alvarez centrally, and then someone was covering the near post. So I don't know why Pep is not playing Julian Alvarez in a 4-4-1-1 just behind Haaland. Pep played Kevin De Bruyne in that position just behind Haaland a lot last season, and Alvarez is a much more natural fit to that. I don't know why Pep is not playing that. I mean, honestly, the only answer is maybe Pep is seeing something in Julian Alvarez that we are not able to see. Because any other manager would play Alvarez as a second striker, 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1. So I think there's something that Pep is seeing in Alvarez that we are not able to see. So I don't know, but at least until now, Alvarez on the ball has not been that special. You probably, I think, if you played Rico Lewis in the place of Alvarez, we win that Liverpool game. That was my conclusion. If we win that Chelsea game, we win that Liverpool game. If we play Rico Lewis in place of Alvarez. But again, I'm not going to judge Alvarez too early. It's not even half the season done. So you just don't know in the second half of the season, Alvarez in that position could turn out to be something special, and then everyone would be telling Pep Guardiola is a genius. So not going to comment on Alvarez, but only my only comment right now is off the ball, on the ball. Off the ball, he's been the best player for City, and on the ball, he's been one of the worst players for City. Oscar Guardiola there. The defense of Spurs is actually interesting. It's Emerson Royal and Ben Davis. I think Bernardo Silva's drifted onto the left, but that's a temporary thing. One thing I would like to see is yes, Bernardo is actually playing on the right. No, it's Foden on the right, Bernardo through the middle. They're exchanging, so there's not too much in it, but I would predominantly like to see Foden play centrally. So I mean, I'm still not that confident about what Foden's position will be in this team long term because reports are we are going after Florian Wirtz or maybe a Paqueta if everything's cleared. So that tells me that probably Pep doesn't see Foden as a long term successor for in that central attacking midfield position, which is I still think Foden's best position. Maybe Pep plans to play two That's a wonderful ball there by Akanji and into Jeremy Doku. Jeremy Doku has a chance to run at the Spurs defense now. Jeremy Doku, Jeremy Doku, Jeremy Doku. And that's a corner for City. I think Doku just held on to the ball too much there. So I think if Florian Wirtz comes and City just play with one central attacking midfielder, then I doubt what will Foden's best position be. So I don't know in that unless Pep plans to play, two DMs, sorry, two cams. I think that's a goal kick, and we have been shit from set pieces anyway. I would like to see Postecoglou plays Ange ball against us today, but I highly doubt he will do it. High press and stuff. They're actually high pressing, and it's a City throw. It's at the Etihad as well, so we can't be dropping too many points at home. That's a corner for City. Villa away next. I think it's in midweek as well. Villa away will not be easy. Villa at home have been phenomenal, so that Villa away game will be difficult for us. But anyway, it's not been quite an action-packed start. It's been a couple of fouls on either side, especially on the City side. This is the second corner for City, so Spurs clearing again. Not that hopeful from set pieces anyway. We're being a bit of shit on set pieces to be honest. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden running. That's a foul. That's a foul on Foden. The referee doesn't give the foul to be honest. Bernardo Silva instigating the press. I didn't know that Pepe Matasar was also injured for this game. So Spurs suffering from injuries. I think except Arsenal. Every team suffering from injuries. Arsenal, it's only Yuri and Timber, but every team has two or three injuries to be honest. City are pressing well actually. Spurs are not able to play out. Vicario does well actually to play that out from Haaland's press, but Foden's got the ball. Jeremy Doku with the ball. That's a corner for City, I think. Yes, that's another corner for City. Three corners for City in the first 5 minutes. City are just pressing Spurs and that not allowing Spurs to come out. And Spurs are breaking on us. Spurs are breaking on us. And Spurs score. Hong Min Son gets his goal. Spurs score. Classic counter attack. Hong Min Son gets his goal. Shit. Every time the same shit happens with Spurs, right? Every time the same shit happens with Spurs, to be honest. Every time the same shit happens with Spurs. The spin of the ball not helping Jeremy Doku and Son scores. Anderson could he have done better? I don't know. I don't know if he could have done any better. Shit goal to concede, to be honest. From a corner, opposition team breaking on us. Very shit goal to concede. It's the usual stuff. Is this a curse or what with Spurs? Every time the same thing happens when we play against Spurs, to be honest. That's a foul in favor of City. Why is it that every time it's Son who scores? It's a free kick, Bernardo Silva. And City score! Who is the one who scores? I don't know who is the one who scores. And just like that, we are level. And just like that, we are level. City score. I think it's an own goal. I think it's a Spurs own goal, to be honest. Son own goal. Son own goal. Julian Alvarez with the assist. Vina, I think Son loves scoring at the Etihad so much that he's told himself, why don't I score at the home end as well? It's a Son OG. It's a Son OG. No doubt Son loves scoring it. But I'm really not happy, Vina. I'm really not happy with the way we conceded that goal, to be honest. How that is just schoolboy football. How can you have someone breaking from your own corner? Again, they're breaking on the counter. This is having the vibes of the Chelsea game all round. I don't know why we are not playing Natanake in the defense. Just remove Ruben Diaz and play Natanake in the defense. I know Diaz wasn't for at fall for that corner goal, but I just had a feeling that if Ake played in that Chelsea game, we would have won. If Ake plays here, somehow I don't know that organization, that stuff. You don't. Son doesn't score that goal. The Leipzig game came into control when Ake came on. He just controlled the entire defense. To be honest, it's all back to square one now. Again, Son almost getting to that ball. I think someone needs to man mark Son legit. That's why I'm even more surprised that he's not playing Ake because Ake had kept Salah in his pocket. Think Ake one on one defending. Ake had kept Saka in his pocket. I think last season twice. I think Ake has kept Sané, Coman, Rodrigo in his pocket last season. So that's a surprise. Why you prefer Guardiola? Guardiola is not a bad defender, but when you play against top wingers that experience in defending, that's why they say defense is also an experienced person's game. It's not just someone with speed and all. That's why experience is also important in defense because sometimes you need to make a decision inside, outside, where should I show him and stuff like that. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm surprised. Lot of space in the middle of the park. Kevin De Bruyne is someone who'd be loving this kind of space. Again, we're not able to make much of it, but look at the space in the middle of the park. This is Chelsea all over again. There's no doubt. This is Chelsea all over again. I think Foden should have played the ball to Doku on the far side and Erling Haaland with the miss of the season. Erling Haaland misses an open goal. I was almost reacting as he hit it. I was almost reacting to the net bulging, but Erling Haaland with the miss of the season. What is happening to Erling Haaland? That is an open goal. You don't get more open goals than that. What has happened to Haaland there? Open goal. Open goal. You don't get much easier goals than that. Everybody in the stream would have scored that. No pressure on Haaland. Open goal. He could have taken a touch and then slotted the ball in. Don't know what's happened to Erling Haaland there. This is the fastest player to 40 goals, faster than Cristiano Ronaldo, Ruud van Nistelrooy, Lionel Messi, Dwight York, Michael Owen, and he's missed an open goal. Don't know what happened to Erling Haaland there, guys. What's happening there to Erling Haaland? Open goal. I think Haaland should easily have 10 to 15 more goals this season. Shit. We should be 2-1 here. 1 up here. Haaland doesn't get the foul. Haaland is pretty much having a shit game, to be honest, till now. Guardiola gets onto the ball. Where is Doku? Haaland gets on the end of this. Haaland somehow manages to keep it. He's having a shit game, to be honest. Phil Foden, one-on-one with Udogi. Rodri just circulate the ball, guys. Circulate the ball. That's well done, Rodri. Just 15 minutes in the game is already a seesaw. Jeremy Doku. And it's another. I'm shit afraid of corners now. What the hell did Erling Haaland do there? Open goal. City should have been 2-1 up. Again. It's another corner. Again, Spurs are almost breaking on us. Spurs are almost breaking on us again. Kulusevski there. It's a throw in actually. The ball's gone out. City have to control Spurs on the counter. We have not been able to, but I'm still not able to get of that. The way we conceded that goal and the way Erling Haaland missed an open goal. It's I think even Raheem Sterling can miss from there, to be honest. Jeremy Doku showing too much of the ball, and surprised that he's playing Doku today. Actually, I think this is the sort of Leipzig was the game where he should have started Doku, and this is the game where he should have started Grealish. To be honest, I think because when there's chaos around, I think Jack Grealish is someone who you can rely upon to keep hold of the ball and stuff. Jeremy Doku, Rodri, good switch to Kyle Walker, Manuel Akanji, Kanji to Walker again. That's a good ball from Walker. Erling Haaland's made that one. Press Vicario. Yes, Vicario's kicked the ball out, and the game has just slowed down right now. Spurs are just playing within themselves. I think City should maybe sit back. I don't. I know we don't sit back that bit, but Son gets the ball again. Every time he gets on the ball, Son, it's just it's a corner for Spurs. It's a corner for Spurs. It's Destiny Udogi attacking from the left, and still Erling Haaland, that open goal. I still can't understand how he missed that open goal. There was no one there, no one. Ruben, that's well defended, but Kulusevski can strike it. Don't allow him to get on the left. That's another corner for Spurs, I think. Spurs are just getting corners, but Erling Haaland, the way he's missed that open goal. I know I've said it thrice, I'll say it three more times because that is something that doesn't happen every day. That's well defended. That's very well defended. Good header out from Ruben Diaz, I think. Diaz has been good until this point. Gautam says, crazy 20 minutes. Doku and Eddie at fault for the first goal. Haaland missing open chance. I think Gautam more than Edison, I think I don't know who puts the strategy on that, but I don't think you can put Jeremy Doku to defend against the counter attack. Especially, we have had the experience. If you remember, Joao Cancelo against Mo Salah, Liverpool last time, Liverpool at the Etihad. Sorry, Liverpool at Anfield last time. Mo Salah ran through on goal and we lost that match 1-0. The same thing is repeated here. I think you have to leave at least a defender on for that. And Erling Haaland, my God, Gautam, Erling Haaland, my God, Erling Haaland. That just reminds me of those Sterling misses. How Sterling would miss that. Erling Haaland, my God. That's what I was telling. This is a striker who's the fastest to 40 goals in the Champions League, faster than Ronaldo, Messi, Michael Owen, faster than any of the striker you've seen in the history of football. And he misses a chance like that. At least if it hits the bar, pole, that is something else. But there's no keeper, there's no one, and he's missed it. Again, Hong Min Son is in. Ah, what a tackle from Ruben Diaz. Gautam, what a tackle from Ruben Diaz. Guardiola is just not able to keep up with Hong Min Son there. Look at that. What a tackle from Ruben Diaz there. Josko Guardiola is just skinned by Hong Min Son over there. Vinay says, what the F is this? That's why I'm surprised Vinay is not played Nathan Ake because Nathan Ake, okay, okay, I agree that Nathan Ake has been skinned by Pedro Neto, but Nathan Ake had Salah in his pocket the last game. Nathan Ake had Saka thrice in his pocket, Sane last season, Sane in his pocket, Koeman in his pocket, Rodrigo in his pocket, and you don't start Ake in this game when you know you're up against Hong Min Son. I don't know why he's not starting Ake because Josko Guardiola is still adapting. He's just 21, and when you're defending against Son, experience is so necessary and important. Vinay says Alvarez sleeping, Guardiola sleeping. I'm so frustrated, Vinay, with the way we conceded the first goal. Spurs didn't have to do anything. It was classic counter attack. The way Erling Haaland missed that open goal. I mean, every one of us here in the chat would have scored that goal. That goal was just so simple. Jeremy Doku, probably Jeremy Doku, at least this first 24 minutes. I think it's the worst 24 minutes on the left hand side of our defense. At least the left flank, Guardiola and Doku, I think. And I just think that Ruben Diaz is back to his best with that tackle. What a tackle from Ruben Diaz. I mean, what a clearance from Ruben Diaz in a way. Not a tackle. Jeremy Doku. He's doing what Grealish is doing. At least with Grealish, you'll get more defensive cover. If Jeremy Doku just stand off his man. Ah, that's a foul in favor of Spurs. I honestly think that midfield of Alvarez, Rodri, and Bernardo is getting run over. I think Rodri is just Rodri is just being swamped. That's an offside. I think Rodri is just being swamped on. So I just think it is for games like these that Pep has bought Calvin Phillips, but is not there. Maybe I think Mateo Kovacic. I think against Chelsea, Kovacic came on at the last. Kovacic has just come back from injury. I think in these sort of games where you know the opposition is going to break on you, come at you, I think you got to play one of someone like a Kovacic or a Nunez. That's when we get control, I think. Gautam says we badly need stones. I think we badly need someone like a Kovacic or Nunez, I think, in the center of the pitch. Someone who can, control possession, someone who's press resistant. Jeremy Doku on the ball. Guys, do you all remember last season this fixture? City at the Etihad against Spurs at halftime, all of in January, I think this fixture took place. And all of our reaction at that time was due to the World Cup and stuff in January. It took place, and all of our reaction at halftime, City were 2-0 down. Is I thought season was over. Seriously, I thought season was over. And then that comeback is what I think propelled our treble winning run, to be honest. I think Son and Kulusevski are just destroying us on the flanks, to be honest. That is a cheap giveaway. I think, again, what the hell is happening? What are we doing? Giveaway of the ball. Oh my god, this is just City all over the shop. I haven't seen City play like this since Pep Guardiola's first season, where we were like 4-0 to Everton, 5-1 to Leicester. Since all those results, I haven't seen City play so badly. City being so vulnerable, to be honest. Kulusevski, I think, with the corner. At least we're defending corners well. That's a good clearance from Bernardo. Well done by Rodri. Very well done by Rodri. Doku is there. That's a throw in for City. Doku take the throw in fast. We need control in the middle of the. I think this is the exact reason why he's tried to bring in Lucas Paqueta, to be honest, because Paqueta gives you that presence, gives you that control. Kyle Walker, there's nothing down the flank of Walker, to be honest. Everything's down the flank of Guardiola. For a moment, I thought Rodri's ball was going in. Again, Kyle Walker giving it away. I was just telling that, but Foden does well. Phil Foden does extremely well. He keeps his brain, he keeps his head, and it's Jeremy Doku on the counter attack, to be honest. And Doku hits the bar. Doku hits the bar. It's been that kind of a day for us. Haaland missing an open chance. And Doku hitting the post. On another day, you're 3-1 up. Easy 3-1 up. The interesting thing is, what a miss exactly. I wouldn't even say miss Gautam because he's curled the ball well. It's hit the bar. I wouldn't say it's a miss. It's been that kind of a day. Oh, who expects Haaland missing an open goal? I think if you were to bet and go onto a betting website before the start of the match, of course, Haaland missing an open goal, the bet would be almost like you put £10 and you get 10 and you get £1,000. I think that will be the bet. So that's how rare these occurrences are. Haaland missing an open goal. In contrast to that, Jeremy Doku hitting the post, I'm not surprised. It's been that kind of a day for us, to be honest. 30 minutes and I still don't know how this game's 1-1. Bernardo Silva, Rodri, Jeremy Doku. Bernardo Silva gets to the ball. Guardiola's crosses have been good, to be honest. Jeremy Doku again gets to the ball. And that's a goal! Phil Foden scores! Woo! Come on! Phil! One of our own! Phil Foden! What a goal! Foden bliss! The bliss is back! I for a moment thought Gotham the offside flag would rise. That's why I'm just stopping there. Because it's been that kind of a day for us. Haaland open goal miss, Doku post, Foden there, but I think the presence of mind was very good, but it was who was the one who passed to Foden? I think it was Bernardo who passed to. It's Josko Guardiola, I think, to be honest, who passed to Phil Foden. It's Julian Alvarez actually who passed to Phil Foden. Good presence of mind from Alvarez, to be honest, and what a run from Phil Foden. Alvarez could have taken the shot there, but good presence of mind from Alvarez. And just like that, Julian Alvarez has had two assists today. Two assists. Ah! Haaland almost within a whisker. Haaland within a whisker to making it three for City. Haaland within a whisker. Just if the ball would have maybe fizzed in a little bit more faster. City are 2-1 up. I would at least like a question of three goals. Not one goal, even two-goal question. I won't be satisfied. Jeremy Doku, look at that now from again from corners. It's just Jeremy Doku in there. Either you take short corners or put someone like a Guardiola or Kyle Walker back. Phil Foden, what a season he's already having. Scored in the Champions League. I think Foden had an assist and a goal in the Champions League, to be honest. And he scored again today. He's done extremely well. Referee tells it's a foul, but look at that strike from Jeremy Doku. It's almost too perfect. Jeremy Doku has almost calculated the mathematics of that perfect to the angle, and that's why it's missed. Sometimes I think you got to have that imperfection on the shot for it to go in. He's just aimed too much at the post, I think. I think that will be yellow for Rodri. Yes, it's a yellow for Rodri. We need to be careful. Need to be very careful. I don't know how there's so much gap in the middle that Rodri had to commit to that yellow card foul so early on in the game as well. My God. I just can't imagine us playing Villa without Rodri. Rodri getting a second yellow and Villa with Leon Bailey, Ole Watkins, Musa Diaby. Spurs giving the ball away and it's Erling Haaland. What a ball from Erling Haaland. Julian Alvarez, Julian Alvarez. Ah, again hitting the post. What a finish there from Julian Alvarez. It's a very good finish from Julian Alvarez. That's a striker's finish. Two balls hitting the post today. What a finish that is. What a finish that is from Julian Alvarez. On another day, this is 4-1 to City. My God, it's another miss. What? Don't know what's happened. Haaland open goal miss. Doku hits the post. Alvarez hits the post. I just don't know what's happening. And Spurs have created zero. It's almost that we have gifted Spurs that goal from the counter, to be honest. That was a very tough finish, and Julian Alvarez finished it extremely well, to be honest. Look at the six from Erling Haaland. I don't know what's happened to Erling. Guys, what's happened to Erling? Look at that. Even this is a mess from Erling Haaland standards. What is happening to Erling Haaland? Exactly, Vinay. What's happening to Erling Haaland? Look at that. I would even class this as an open goal by Haaland standards, right? There's no one, no pressure on him. It's just Erling Haaland and the goal. At least if the keeper saves it, that's another thing. He's not even testing the bloody goalkeeper. This should be 5-1. Very poor. Haaland is very poor. I mean, I should not say this, but I think Sterling would have at least taken one of those two chances, to be honest, which Haaland has missed today. Open goals, both of them open goals. The first one more than the other, but both of them open goals. Haaland's not just poor win, Gautam. I think Haaland's been pathetic today. Don't know what's happening to Erling Haaland. Jeremy Doku. Doku just give the ball to Guardiola. Just circulate possession. Vinay says Rodri misses Villa. That's a foul. Is it? Is it? Are you sure, Vinay? Are you sure? Because no, Vinay. Because I thought after a particular game, I think all the yellow cards are like reset in the season. So I thought this was that the game before this was that game or something like that. Ah, it's just problems, 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 right? Typical winter. Christmas is here. Christmas is here. The winter football is here for City. Christmas is here, guys. Gautam says yes, it's 50 yellow. Okay. Oh, shit. Another problem to think. And that too, it's Villa away. It's not Villa at home. That's another thing. Again, Son's away. Wonderful thing by Rodri. Again! This is. I think our attackers are defending better than the defenders. To be honest, Guardiola has been shit. Jeremy, there's space out wide. Switch it out wide. Yes, that's what Rodri does, the sensible thing. Now the Lucas Paqueta thing just looks so bad, right? Because he could have played kind of that Rodri role. Now sending Gundogan away looks. I mean, don't want to go back, but it's Jeremy Doku. Again, Doku tries that shot, but it just doesn't happen with him. Manuel Akanji. But the only good thing is, guys, the only good thing is Stones is available. I think Stones will play that Rodri role, to be honest. Because Stones is on the bench. I think Stones is fit. Stones might come on for the last few minutes here. I think Stones will play that Rodri role. Jeremy Doku. I think it's offside. But I think Stones is available. That's the only good thing, to be honest. And Rodri gets more rest. I think he's had enough rest. With that red card he's got. I don't know how many of you have realized this, but I think teams are a little bit more this season. They are willing to come at us rather than sit back. Even if you look at Wolves, to be honest, I was a bit surprised, but even Wolves, kind of, when it went to 1-1, especially in that Wolves game, they were happy to. Spurs are playing through the press, and it's Hong Min Son, and that's very well defended by Kyle Walker. That's why he's one of the best. It's not Son, it's Kulczewski, and Walker's done extremely well there. That's why he's the best right back in the world. There was a show on Sky Sports, and they were like putting out who's the best player in the world in each position, and they were having debate about right back, and they were telling should it be Araujo or should it be Kyle Walker. I'm like, this guy Kyle Walker has defended against the best wingers and won the Champions League last season. He's been very good this season. How are you telling me that Daniel Araujo is better than Kyle Walker? Rodri snuffled off the ball, and I think it's Hong Min Son. Run, 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 run. Kyle Walker does extremely well. Kyle Walker does extremely well. This defending is being led by Kyle Walker. Gautam says this game is so open. Today, most of the games have been open, Gautam. If you see Liverpool were 3-2 down and came on to win it 4-3. I think Brighton Chelsea was so open, to be honest. 3-2 at the end. Brighton almost had a penalty. So today, most of the games are open, to be honest. I think Villa Bournemouth was 2-2. So most of the games yesterday it was boring, but Newcastle game was very good, even though it ended 1-0 yesterday. And I was happy the Rats lost again United. Vinay says Doku slowing down the game. What do you expect when Professor Grealish is teaching him? But I also think it's a bit conscious thing from Doku, to be honest. I think Vinay, because uh, if he just goes in too much and he loses the ball, I think there's Song Min Son who's there to counter attack. So I think he's picking up the right moment, to be honest. So I'm actually unhappy that we're just one goal ahead. Haaland should be on a hat trick now. At this time, if a penalty comes, I don't know how comfortable you guys are, but I would be very uncomfortable with Haaland taking it. Gautam says all the home teams winning by one goal march. Jeremy Doku on the ball. Jeremy cut inside. He's trying to repeat that shoot. He's trying to repeat that shoot. It's just not happening. It's offside, I think, again. I don't know how Jeremy Doku can be offside there. Gautam, let's just wish this is not a one goal margin. That will give all of us heart attacks. My God, it's just it's almost like Diwali has come twice. That thing on Diwali, that was just a heart attack, BP rising thing, and again against Spurs it's the same thing, and I guess against Villa it could be the same thing again. That's a very interesting stat actually, which Gautam told. All the home teams winning by one goal margin. When Newcastle won it by one goal margin yesterday. Kyle Walker's been exceptional. Walker's realized what a ball there by Edison. Walker's realized he needs to bring his leadership to the fore. 3 minutes of added time. And I would want Nathan Ake come on for Josko Guardiol, to be honest. Nothing wrong with Guardiol, but it's just the experience of defending against Hong Min Son. I actually feel bad for people who have Son in the fantasy. Scores a goal, scores an open goal. So it's effectively nothing. Own goal and a goal. So it's effectively come down to nothing for Son. Rodri. I'm thinking in these kind of a games we need a calming presence because we've seen it happen against Chelsea. We've seen it happening now. Who can be that calming presence? I'm just thinking. Who can be that calming presence for City? I think Mateo Kovacic has to be the answer. Gundogan was the answer last time, and I think it's Mateo Kovacic. Jeremy Doku. Can we get a goal before half time? One goal. Then going in at half time with a two-goal advantage, the mindset will just be somewhat different. Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva, Foden playing on the inside as is done since the 10th minute or so of this game. Back to Addison. Spurs are pressing well. Spurs are breaking on us with great tenacity, great pace, great freedom. They're breaking on us with an attitude like we don't have anything to lose. And when a team breaks like that, it's very difficult to defend against, to be honest. Josko Guardiol, Jeremy Doku. He's just taking too much time on the ball, Jeremy Doku there, like when I mentioned. Vinay says surely Doku is unwell. He's. I think Jack Grealish has started his coaching with Jeremy Doku. Vinay, there's no doubt about it. That's a throw in for City. That's a throw in for City. I mean, Emerson Royal and Ben Davies are defending, and still we are just 2 goals up. I don't know. It's not even Van de Ven and Christian Romero. It's bloody Emerson Royal and Ben Davis. Emerson Royal is someone who can't even bloody defend his picnic lunch from ants. And we have just got 2 goals against him. And I think that will be that for the half. Gautam says, I think he has been told to hold and slow down the game. But at critical moments, Gautam, even at critical moments, is slowing the game down. His some of his shots, I know one of his shot hit the corner bar, but some of his shots have not been good, have not been the usual ones that we associate with Jeremy Doku. So, what do you guys think of the half? I know City are going up 2-1, but I'm disappointed with the half, to be honest. I know we're leading, but not happy with the not happy with the performance, not happy with Pep Guardiola always says we have to play football with courage. I haven't seen courage from the City team. In this match, I'm seeing us being afraid to make that key pass, being afraid that Hong-Min Son might break on us. We are taking too much time on the ball. Instead of playing our game, I thought we have been afraid throughout the half of the consequences of what might happen if Son or Kulchaski break on us. The midfield was non existent. It almost seems that you were playing with the five at the back and then five forward. Back four and then Rodri, and then it was the front five. There was no player who was the ball carrier. You probably could say Bernardo Silva was the ball carrier, but for me, Bernardo Silva did his work more on the right and the left than in the center of the midfield. So I think we were missing a ball carrier, to be honest. We were missing someone who could knit that midfield, knit that defense and attack. There was no proper ball carrying midfielder. Foden and Alvarez have been too attacking and they have to be so. But uh, I mean, you could say, why can't Rodri do that? Because the back four is just, you do not want someone like Kulusevski or a Son running at Rodri, so running at Ruben Diaz. So Rodri has to one on one. So Rodri has to cover back. So I just think I just think that Mateo Kovacic is what we need in this game. Vinay says, no. Normally he does relentless dribbling, but here he's clueless. Maybe he's tired. Might be the case, Vinay, might be the case. Also, it might be the case that he's been given that instruction by Pep Guardiola because there is Hong-Min Son on that wing. So, I mean, this Hong-Min Son is striker, but is drifting down that side. So, for me, I feel it might be a conscious, word from Pep Guardiola to Jeremy Doku because Pep Guardiola I actually think let us go back to what kind of a player Grealish was when he came to City. Grealish at Aston Villa was a free-spirited player. He was like taking shots, taking on people. Grealish dribbling was also good at Aston Villa. Grealish was not playing this game, but Pep has trained him in a way to do this. Grealish says Pep has improved, matured my game, but Pep has taken the finesse away from Grealish and is doing this. I just hope it's not the same thing Pep is actually doing to Jeremy Doku. I don't I just hope that Pep is not trying to turn Jeremy Doku into Jack Grealish 2.0, who maybe does a lot more dribbles but who also slows the game down. I just hope that's not the case. But my God, what's happened to Erling Haaland, guys? It's just so frustrating with Erling Haaland. He is the top scorer in the Premier League, and he's missed chances like that. It's been so frustrating. Open goals, two open goals, I would say. Yes, one was a bit far away. I mean, Haaland scored a nice little Goal from almost outside the box against Young Boys, I think, if I'm not wrong. And look at this. He is missed a goal where he's got the ball at the middle of the uh, goal. So Erling Haaland again frustrating. Bayaji says Haaland misses chances that would make Sterling real proud. Tafuk is doing. Bayaji, क्या करे भैया जी, it's just like so frustrating from Erling Haaland. ऐसा open goal कैसे miss करेंगे? I mean, how can he miss that? Even if you blindfold Haaland, he doesn't miss that. Open goal. There was no goalkeeper, there was no defender, and Haaland missed that goal. Ha! You're right, Bayaji. Raheem Sterling would have been proud of that. Who misses that kind of a goal? I can't. Gabriel Jesus doesn't miss that kind of a goal. Gautam says we need a midfielder in this window. Gautam says this team needs KDB so badly. They're just showing the counter attack, and it was Jeremy Doku against Hong Min Son. I, I think that's the difference between having a Josko Guardiol or someone there and Jeremy Doku there. Look at that. If you see the replay of what's happened on that Spurs first goal, Jeremy Doku plays the ball instead of the man. I think a defender there would have played the man. He would have not allowed Hong Min Son to get in front of him. But Jeremy Doku went for the ball and ball spun away from him and Son got to it. I think if Jeremy Doku just tried to keep Son behind him, I think, or slow Son down, I think he would have got help. Nothing on Edison over there, but maybe near post, but the ball was hit with so much pace. Kumar is here. Hey Kumar, how are you doing? Bayaji says Haaland has regressed this season. To be honest, no killer punch this season. They're showing the offside for the second goal, but it was on own goal. That's actually the thing, Bayaji, because Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest. He missed three open chances. Nottingham Forest, and against Leipzig, I think he misses some chances in the first leg. This year he's missed two chances. I mean, if I go on count, I think against Wolves as well he missed one chance. I mean, if I go on counting, I think against Liverpool, Haaland missed at least two chances, if not more. At least two. Again, Haaland missed an open goal against Liverpool. We should be winning that one. Trent scores on the other end. I mean, I can literally count 10 to 12 open goals just in the Premier League that Haaland has missed till now with this game. So, and just imagine, Haaland's the top scorer in the Premier League right now with 12, 13 goals, whatever. If he would have had 10, 12 more goals, it will be 25 goals. And it's not even what half the season. So, Haaland's lost that killer touch, but Bayaji, critics don't agree, pundits don't agree. The English media somehow doesn't agree because they just see stats. It would be interesting to actually see the XG table. High quality chances which Haaland has missed. I think he'll be at the top of that list as well. Bayaji says, how easily Johnson went past Guardiola. Never a left back for me. Akanji, our best defender in first half. I think Diaz has also been good, Bayaji. If you remember, Diaz put in that crunching challenge. Otherwise, I think Brennan Johnson squares it for Kulusevski. I think he squares it for Son, to be honest. Ruben Diaz puts in a uh, tackle. I just think it's not the first time they're showing that Haaland open goal miss again, and I just can't see that. But it's not the first time for Josko Guardiola, right? Against Chelsea as well, it was Josko Guardiola for mistake for at least two of their goals. And Malo Gusto, I remember, had an open goal where he missed against Chelsea. So Guardiola was. I mean, I'm a bit surprised because Guardiola has good pace, his positional sense is very good, and has actually played at left back in his career. Josko Guardiola has been that left sided centre back. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's been that left sided centre back for Croatia and also for Leipzig last season and stuff and the season before. So I think Guardiola's played there, but I just think that's the thing. Guardiola. I mean, people are telling Guardiola at 21 is almost one of the best defenders in the world, and the reason I don't agree with that is defense is an experienced person's game. You might have the strength, you might have the physicality, you might have the pace, power, but when defending, all comes down to experience. Defending comes down to anticipating. Okay, if Ake would have been there, Ake would have thought Brennan Johnson, okay, last time where did he go? I mean, how do these high quality wingers behave? Ake takes that decision. You see Ake sometimes go fast on two wingers, and Ake sometimes, he allows the winger to, dribble into the box, then goes into the tackle. Ake takes those decisions very well. I think Guardiola at 21 is not prepared to, be a 1v1 defender, especially in a city side where you have to defend at least one or two high quality, high XG chances every match. The difference between Guardiola defending for Croatia, Leipzig, and City is at City there will be opponents will not have many chances, but opponents will have one or two high XG chances where the xg is 0.991, 1.2, whatever, and you have to defend that. So I think I won't blame Guardiola as much. I'll give him time, to be honest, because defending in a Pep Guardiola side is means you're defending huge amounts of space. It's experience, it's mind, it's using many other things than your physical attributes. Gautam says, Mal Malilo needs to work more on our defenders. I just think Gautam Ake needs to play. He's been a best defender, and I don't know why he's not playing. Maybe Pep wants to play him for that Villa game, because I understand Villa is also difficult again, because Villa as well, Diaby on one side, Watkins and Leon Bailey on the other side. So I think Villa also, their defenders are very strong, the wingers are very strong. So I think it's a gamble which uh, it's a gamble which Papa's taken. But just imagine if the Spurs side had Madison, Van der Ven, and Christian Romero. Okay, at least Madison. I think. Wow, I just can't imagine what the score line would be. Bhaiya, this is no hope for all 3 points unless two-goal lead. Bunch of a nervous wrecks in the defense. I'm actually happy with the way Ruben Diaz put in that challenge. Akanji, for me, there are two problems here, Bayaji. Two problems. The first problem is Manuel Akanji going into the midfield. I think if Manuel Akanji comes back and it's a back four and Rodri is in there, I think we can be much stable. But the fact that Akanji is in the midfield, Rodri is in the midfield, now Kulusevski and Ange is from the Pep School of Football, right? And he likes to from the Pep old school of football, I can say, and Ange likes to have his wingers high and wide. Now Akanji stepping into the midfield, Kulisaski wide, Brennan Johnson wide. It means Walker and Guardiola are being stretched. And it's almost like you have Ruben Diaz alone there, and it's almost being a battle of Son versus Ruben Diaz. And with that, Rodri is having to, step back. Rodri is having to play that pseudo Akanji role. And I think Diaz is being isolated. Rodri is not quite sure what to do in that midfield, and Manuel Akanji still doesn't. I mean, he is still new to that position which Stones is playing. So I think Kulusevski and Brennan Johnson stretching is is what is causing trouble for City. And also, if you guys remember against Chelsea, the way City started where Guardiola and Walker were high and wide. Sorry, Guardiola and Walker were wide, and Akanji into the midfield, and Diaz was in the center. And what did Chelsea do? Chelsea had Gallagher and Cole Palmer attacking those spaces, which where in between, Diaz Guardiola and Diaz Walker on both the sides. So, so I think the same thing is repeating here, and Ange has actually forced both our fullbacks high and wide. So it will be interesting tactically how Pep Guardiola deals with it. It's on Pep Guardiola as well a little bit here tactically, wingers high and wide and stuff. So I mean, I'm expecting a Mateo Kovacic change, maybe not exactly from the tunnel, but but maybe round about 5-10 minutes. I'll just plug in the PC and come. Are there any changes at halftime? No changes at halftime. Hoiberg is there for Spurs. I think whenever Ange thinks he need to close the game down, I actually think he will bring on Hoiberg, to be honest. Tactically, I think Pep has to sort out a few things here. Hoiberg is coming on. Interesting, this is Hoiberg is coming on. But for whom? Is it for Licelso? I don't know for whom Hoiberg is coming on. I don't know why we never went to get Son from Spurs. We were focusing on Kane. I know we needed a striker then, but that's a good interception. Ah, good save from Vicario. Another chance. Guys, how is this game 2-1? How are we just leading this game by one goal? Another chance. Bernardo Silva. He's done well. It's a good save by Vicario, to be honest. I can't blame Bernardo there. That's a good save by Vicario. We need to get the third and fourth goal, like Bayaji mentioned. There were times last season before, when you were comfortable with City defending a 1-0 lead. Not anymore. I mean, a one goal lead, but not anymore. Not at all anymore. What a chance that was early on as well. I think our XG might be 3 or 4 in this game, to be honest. Bernardo, press, press, press. I think Spurs are playing a mini football match near the box there, and that's a foul. And Spurs get the free kick. And City have stolen the ball again. Just don't know why we are not able to make the final pass. And Kevin De Bruyne would be cursing his injury that he's not able to play in this game. To be honest, I think it's a head injury for Erling Haaland. Haaland's down. It's a free kick for City, but from a useless position. Bernardo, good save from Vicario, but again, I think if we can get through this and Villa somehow, I think it will be so much more encouraging for us, to be honest. Bernardo Silva coming out with the ball, not a good ball at all there. Vicario again. Spurs attacking. Just so nervous whenever Spurs go in front, to be honest. I mean, whenever Spurs go forward, to be honest. This is why you have to put away your chances. Because the more goals you score, the more you can invite Spurs on you. Spurs on. Sterling Haaland. I think that's a yellow card for Hoiberg. Hoiberg. It's not a yellow card, but it's another free kick for City. But Haaland somehow should have found that pass. I know there were two people on Haaland, but wow, guys in the chat, your favorite player is stripped on and is ready to come. All of our favorite player, hail the king, hail the lord, Jack Grealish, announcing, presenting before all of you, Lord Grealish. Jack Grealish is gonna come onto the pitch any moment now. He's stripped on and is ready to come on. Jeremy Doku. That was almost a counter-attacking chance for Hong Min Son. We are so shit at set pieces. Rodri does well. Anyway, it was a foul on a Spurs player. There's a foul on Emerson Royal. How is Haaland not not being able to score against Ben Davis and Emerson Royal in centre backs? Might be I'll never get the answer to this question. Jack Grealish is coming on. Pep with detailed instructions to Jack Grealish. Jeremy Doku is coming off. Like when I said probably Doku might be having a niggle, he might be unwell. There's some problem there. Is not at his usual energetic, bubbly best, Jeremy Doku. So he's been superb against Leipzig, even though he wasn't didn't have an assist or a goal. There was involved in and made a difference in that match for sure. That's a foul on Phil Foden. The referee doesn't give a foul. To be honest, the referees allowed the match to flow on well. In a match where generally when two sides play high pressing football, it's almost like there'll be tactical fouls and the referees actually refereed the match well. At least up to this point, Jack Grealish, I thought he caught the ball there almost. I think with Grealish, what you'll now get is more help for Josko Guardiola, and yeah, I think the confidence of Guardiola should improve now. Grealish, whatever we might think of him, offers more. work rate wise, defensive wise, than Doku. Spurs are breaking again. The shot straight at Edison. My heart was in my mouth again. My God. This. Are we watching football or basketball from the last 1 week or so? What was that throw? Such a stupid throw, a very bad throw, but City somehow get out of it. Rodri does well to spread it, and it's Josko Guardiol, Jack Grealish for the first time. It's a corner for City. The ball was just a bit too high for Erling Haaland, but already we can see that link up between Jack Grealish and Erling Haaland, to be honest. Grealish does extremely well there to win a free kick. I think that is what Grealish brings. I still feel if Grealish started that Chelsea game, maybe I think we could have got something on it uh, from it. I think in a chaotic match, whatever we might say about Grealish brings that control more than anything. He allows you time and space to breathe. The first half there was no space to breathe, and look at it in the second half. Players can breathe, relax, because Grealish will always be getting those fouls time and again. The ball somehow gone to the path of Son. Lucky, lucky. They just close. But again, every time City is taking a set piece, I'm like, no. Phil Foden there on the charts, to be honest. Foden just lost his footing at the last moment. You probably wanted Doku in such a situation and not Foden, just for the pace and stuff. We need to score the next goal, to be honest. Protect the middle of the park. Bernardo, Bernardo. Think that's offside. Yes. Kulusevski's offside. That's a foul in favor of City again. Foden buys the foul. I think we need to get that third goal and also fourth goal if possible, to be honest. That's a great ball by Manuel Akanji. Jack Grealish, good switch from Jack Grealish, to be honest. Gautam says, have to say, Ange ball is so attacking and really engaging as well. It's very attacking. It's very attacking, Gautam. And the thing is, he's got results with this attacking gameplay against Arsenal. They should have probably won it. 2-2. He's playing well right now, and it's on again on the ball. Don't allow him to cut inside. Rodri does well, very calmly and coolly. Ah, wow. This match is keeping us on the edge. So Gautam has got results against uh, Arsenal. He's won against Liverpool. Okay, controversy and stuff. Anyways, won against Liverpool. Against Chelsea, they were playing very well, and if not for the red cards, he would have won there. So playing such an attacking style of football, I think he's got results against most of the top six teams, right? All of the top six teams. Chelsea was an exception, and they're not a top six team now anyway, but 11 against 11, Ange Ball is so good. And actually, Ange Postecoglou was the manager at Yokohama Marinos. Yokohama Marinos is a CFC club, City CFG club, City Football Group club. And Yokohama Marinos won the J League under Ange Postecoglou, to be honest. I think 3 years back, and it was noted that I think 3 years back somewhere Pep was signing an extension, and City, if I mean Pep signed it in the last month, like Pep always does, right? And City were keeping an eye on a few managers, and news is that City were keeping tabs on Ange Postecoglou as well back then. What is Jack Grealish trying to do there? Take the ball out of four people. And Jack Grealish gets a yellow card. I think it's a tough run of fixtures. This is a tough week, to be honest. Gautam says Grealish also misses next game. When I says Grealish won't play against, my God, we are gonna have another cliffhanger at Villa Park. Jeremy Doku. I mean, just look at the wingers on display at Villa Park. Musa Diaby, Leon Bailey, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden. This is gonna be an attacking thing, but let us just come out of this first. Vinay says so. Basically, we are wingerless versus Villa. I think Pep will find a way out. I think Vinay, but we have Jeremy Doku, right? I think it's Jeremy Doku and Phil Foden who will be playing against Villa on the wings. But these games are just giving me heart attacks. 2-1 lead. Every time we get a set piece, Spurs look like scoring. Every time Spurs break forward, they look like scoring. It was anyway offside. I was afraid there. Both Son and Brennan Johnson were through. If you see there, both Son and Brennan Johnson were through. It was clear offside, but Ederson did extremely well. Actually, it was Udogi. I think it was Son and Udogi who were through, but it was anyway offside. Look at that. That's the tense element of this match. One mistake, one giveaway of the ball in the middle of the park, one mistake in stepping up or stepping down in the offside trap, and basically you're dead for your money. That's wonderful 1-2 between Foden and Haaland, but I think Foden needs to, there's actually Bernardo and Haaland, and Bernardo does well. Keep the ball. Foden, Kyle Walker. It is when we are circulating the ball that is when I actually feel the most tense because it looks as if Spurs could be breaking up on you anytime on the counter. Grealish does well. One more goal from City, and I think we can be a bit more relaxed. That's a good spread out, and it's Phil Foden, Rodri. That is wonderful there. Josko Guardiola has to play in get Jack Grealish. Jack was there available for the ball. I don't know why Guardiola went for that chip over the top. Had to play in Jack Grealish there. Had to play in Jack Grealish there. Josko Guardiola needs to keep his mind at least in the attacking phase. Grealish was empty there. The press is good, but Spurs have played out of the press, so it's a throw in for City. It's almost like two people fighting in the middle of the park, both high press fighting in the middle of the chessboard. Two big chess grandmasters playing each other. That's how it is. But it's exciting because both are attacking. Pieces are just flying off the chessboard. Unlike Arsenal, where the entire match is just moves rather than pieces being taken out. Villa away will be so difficult. My God. But I think it's a foul on Jack Grealish anyway. Edison. The last thing you would expect in such a match is for Edison to make a mistake. That was wonderful work by Erling Haaland. Excellent piece of work there from Erling Haaland, but all of that comes to waste. Miscommunication between City's attackers. Now, my God, we played out of the back so well, and Haaland did so well, and still we mess up. That was a chance to break on Spurs, to be honest. Kulusevski, that's a corner for Spurs. I thought it was a free kick. I mean, it was a goal kick, but it's a corner for Spurs, and it's an in swinger as well. This will be difficult. Brennan Johnson, I think, left-footed in swinger. Yes, Anderson claims it very well. Keep it calm, Eddie. Keep it calm. Keep the ball. This is just so tense. Every second, it's almost like so tense. You can cut the tension with a knife. That's how tense it is. Foden basically gives it away in the middle of the park. We need that goal. We need that third goal for assurance. How is Ange? making Emerson Royal play out of the back. I'll never understand because we are pressing well. Rodri, Manuel Akanji, very risky ball. That's why I told that's a very risky ball. And shit! That's why you need Stones and not Manuel Akanji there. I think it's 2-2. That's the reason why you needed Stones and not Akanji there, to be honest. Akanji gets the ball. How can he just put it in the middle of the park? The finish was very good, I would say. Nothing for Edison to do, but Vinay says Spurs are missing so many players, but see, they're playing well. It's just that we haven't taken our chances, Vinay. It's as simple as that, I think. Haaland misses two open goals. Doku's one hits the bar. I mean, we should at least be 4-1 up or 5-1 up, to be honest. At least 4-1 up until this point. We don't take our chances, easy chances, and they take their chances. That's the only thing. And I just think this Akanji experiment is not working, to be honest. Again, I think this we are gonna lose this game. Bloody hell! That too at the Etihad. It's a corner for Spurs. Shit, my God. This week is gonna be huge. Like I said, Aston Villa next. So it's gonna be tough. Just wondering once January comes around and once KDB comes around, how many points will we be adrift of Arsenal or Liverpool or basically whoever is. Ah, that was close. That was a deflection and that was another corner. Grealish with a nice block, or else that was 3-2 Spurs. Grealish with a nice block. Ah, that's the thing. I think Akanji is just too much hurried in the middle of the park. You just need to keep your calm when you get the ball. That second goal was all on Akanji making an unwanted pass into the middle of the park, and everyone was under pressure due to that. Brennan Johnson thought he had a chance, but yeah, it hit the hand of Brennan Johnson anyway. But just don't know. I just think Papa is also struggling to find his balance there in the team. Rico Lewis is coming on. This is interesting. Rico Lewis is coming on with 20 minutes to go. Rico Lewis is coming on with 20 minutes to go. So this will be very interesting. I think it's if I have to put this game, it's simple. Erling Haaland cost you the go, cost you the match. That's it. It's as simple as that. Because when you don't finish off chances, Erling Haaland cost you the points, as many points as we lose. That's the simplest thing I could say. He's removing Foden off and putting Rico Lewis on. This is interesting. And I think Foden was one of our best players till now. Don't know why Pep is doing this. So many misplaced passes. This is classics ventricity. This is how we play in all of these months. The entire December. December has never been a good month for us anyway, in terms of results. But also December's been very important for us because we find out our best 11 and all of that stuff. I just think two things here. Haaland's finishing is that's a foul on Jack Grealish. Just think that Haaland's finishing is not up to the mark, and Akanji is not ready for the Stones role. I think there are two things which you can probably draw from this game if you want to draw something out. But won't we get one more chance? I know they could also get a chance, but one more chance, and can we take it is the question. Alvarez hitting the post, Doku hitting the post, Haaland missing two chances. So honestly, this should have been 6-2 or something. Gautam, please provide us with the bliss. Everyone, right from attack to defense to fans, Gautam, everyone's waiting for you, bliss. Literally, we are like doing absolutely nothing. Nothing in this game. Rico Lewis does extremely well. Rodri, Rico Lewis. Ah! Another open goal. Rodri. What the hell is happening, guys? Another open, another goal which Rodri should have finished. This is nothing. Look at it. That is that is nothing for Rodri. That is such a simple finish. He just needs to put it on goal and look at what Rodri has done. My God, we should be 6-2 up in this game at least. Haaland two chances. Alvarez hits the post. Doku hits the post. Four. Rodri misses. So we have missed three open goals. At least 5-2 up, if not more. My God, this has been as pathetic a finishing as I've seen. When I think Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus don't finish this pathetic. What's happened with the finishing, guys, to all of us? Why are we not finishing it? Gautam, please give your bless to our attackers. Please let them finish. Bernardo Silva, Rico Lewis has just come on and has provided that spark. I think it's time Pep starts Rico Lewis in the midfield, to be honest. Starting from Villa away. Look at it, Rico Lewis has come and it's much more composed and calm in the midfield. Jack Grealish on the outside, on the outside. Yes. At last, this is the first time you've seen City camping on the edge. This is a classic ball. Rodri to Bernardo, winger, midfielder to winger, and it's a corner for City. Shit, I'm scared now. Corner for City. Spurs could be breaking on us. I mean, how many times I've not seen it? Rodri to Mahrez, Mahrez making that run, and Mahrez across and goal. We're missing those kind of goals. And when I see those kind of goals, I'm thinking, why haven't we got Olise? Because Olise, Rico Lewis, another shit attempt on goal from Josko Guardiola. Honestly, it's weaker foot. There's another Spurs change. I think Lissel so is going off. 12 more minutes. Oliver Skip is coming on. That's a Spurs throw. That's a foul on City. That's a foul on Jack Grealish. Grealish is winning a lot of fouls, but just need to try and create one more chance. That was the chance for Rodri, to be honest. He skied it. However, we just 2 goals up. We should have been at least this game should have been done in the first half. Had Erling Haaland got his finishing boots. Erling Haaland is just being pathetic. This finishing. Oh, he's given a foul on Bernardo Silva over there. To be honest, I think. Yes, I thought that was a call shot for a handball, but he's given a foul on Bernardo Silva. And that's a goal! City score! Wow! Jack Grealish! Lord Jack Grealish scores! Guys! Wow! What a goal that is! What a goal! Finally! The bliss! The Lord Jack Grealish scores! His Highness Jack Grealish! Wow! What a goal that is! What a goal! What a game this is! What a game and what a goal! Erling Haaland does at least something sensible. Erling Haaland does at least something sensible, to be honest. Rodri, Haaland, that's a very good assist from Haaland, to be fair. Kept us cool, kept us calm. Had that was a vision of a midfielder, to be honest, and not a striker. If any other striker there would have gone for goal, but Haaland found Jack Grealish. Wow, Jack Grealish gets the goal. The run from Grealish. Wow, wow. Finally, can we keep this lead? That's the question, guys. Can we keep this lead? That is the question. That is the question. Ah, what a goal! There's still so much time in this game. Gautam says Bliss strike rate 100%. It's again given away to Pulsaski there. Jack! Jack, use your Bliss and defend. Jack! Ha! How are we not able to take the ball from Emerson Royal, to be honest? That's a free kick, I think, to Spurs, and it's a yellow card, I think, to Josko Guardiola. That's a free kick to Spurs, and that's a dangerous area, to be honest. And again, giving the ball away there. Have to defend this. Ruben, Ruben Diaz, come on. That's one of the shittiest free kicks you'll ever see, I think. And it's the well, Gautam. I just wanted to say this. Please try it 100%. He could be the bliss coach of our team, Gautam. To be honest, yes, he could be the bliss coach of our team. Coutinho is here. Hey, Coutinho, how are you doing? He says nice and clean tackle to win the ball from Rodri, leading up to the goal. And I'm so annoyed. Yeah, Rodri, and then even Rico Lewis, I think, was involved in some way in that game, and Haaland with the pass. Yasko, what the hell are you doing? That's a foul on Yasko, quite well done. But the one thing again, Coutinho, which is frustrating me is we should have been bloody 6-2 up with and Haaland missed all those open goals. Still frustrated on that, but yeah, Rodri did extremely well there to win the ball back. And since Rico Lewis has come, it's been more calming in the midfield. I mean, it's so interesting that you have Kovacic, you have Matthews Nunez, you have Julian Alvarez. These are all people who have played at the international level and who are so experienced, and still it takes an 18-year-old kid, to come and give you a calming performance. That just shows you how important Rico Lewis is. I think Jack Grealish and Rico Lewis have just got out wide. Costco, go and engage with Kulisaski. Yasko. Ah, that's a corner for Spurs. This is heart in the mouth moments, guys. This heart in the mouth moments. That's a great tackle from Rico Lewis. I mean, how much of that's a goal kick? How much of a courage do you need to put in that tackle inside the penalty box in the 86th minute when you just have a one goal lead? Wow, this guy has courage. This guy has guts. Rico Lewis. I mean, how? What kind of a character, a personality would you have to be to put in that tackle there in the 86th minute in the penalty box? That too against someone like Kulusevski. This is interesting. Nathan Ake is coming on, and Mateo Kovacic is coming on. I probably think for games like these, the best midfield would be Rodri, Rico Lewis, and Mateo Kovacic, with Nathan Ake in the left back position. I just think this because in games like this, you don't need creativity. You need people who can play through balls. And Rico Lewis and Mateo Kovacic is one of the best through ball players I've seen. Okay, there's De Bruyne and all, but he is up there in the top 10 in the world, to be fair, Mateo Kovacic, in terms of playing that through ball, first time through ball. And Rico Lewis can do that well. So I think we could maybe approach these games in that way, to be honest, in games like against Chelsea, against Spurs, against coaches who love to come at you, Ange, Pochettino and stuff, Deserby. Jack Grealish takes the ball. Rico Lewis, space is out wide, Rico. For a moment I thought Bernardo Silva's ball was nestling in the corner, but again, that was a moment where you needed to play in that killer pass. It was a dummy, but Akanji was alert to it. Kyle Walker's had a very good game, I think, to be honest. No mistakes, no mistakes at the back. The last thing you would want is Eddie to make a mistake. Still very tense. Nathan Ake does extremely well. See, that is experience for you. That is experience what Nathan Ake did. He played the man and then played the ball. He first ensured that he went in front of the man. This is the difference between Guardiola and Nathan Ake. That's a throw in for Spurs, I think. Yes. I don't know how much that at time will be, to be honest. Spurs attacking again. And Spurs score. It's 3-3. Kulsaski scores. Shit. It had to happen. Spurs score exactly. Ah, what are these games against Chelsea, against Spurs 4-4, 3-3. Again getting the ball off from the midfield. Nathan Ake there. Been praising him, but Kulsaski overtakes him on a header. Ake is so good in the air. I think Ake needs to win his header there, to be honest. Ake needs to win his header there. It's a classic game against Spurs. Every single time the same shit happens against Spurs, home and away. How much is the added time? It's just 5 minutes. If Arsenal were here, it would be 10 minutes. Grealish does extremely well. That's a foul on Grealish. How can Kulusevski overpower Ake on a header? I just don't understand. Ake is so good in the air. He's one of the top three, top four centre backs in the air. Is so good. And the ball's gone out as well. It's a goal kick. It could be another draw. It could be another 2 points drop. So we could effectively be 3 points behind Arsenal. It was a good free kick, but no one could reach it. The ball went out. Now I'm feeling let us settle for a draw. It's because Son's having the ball. My God, Son's running at us. City get the ball. And Jack Grealish is through. Jack Grealish is through. I don't know why the referee stopped the game. I don't know why the referee stopped the game. I don't know why the referee stopped the game. Shit. Why did the ref stop the game? Why did the ref stop the game there? He was bloody giving us a foul when we had a clear advantage. I don't know why the ref stopped the game there. Shit. What happened? Why did the ref stop the game there? Such a stupid ref. He gave us a free kick. What the hell? When Grealish was away on a counter attack. Stupid refs. Just blow the whistle, ref. You've just killed the game. Grealish was through there. That's a corner for City. I think he needs to add on at least one more minute. But that was the chance. Grealish going through. Ah! Was it a penalty? Was it a penalty? They're asking for a penalty. He's pushed Akanji. He's clearly pushed Akanji over there. He's pushed Akanji over there. I don't think he's gonna give it. But the ref stopping that City's advantage for a free kick is a joke. It's literally a joke. And the referee's blown the full time whistle. What a farce by the referee. That I know we didn't play well, but that that free kick decision by the referee to call off our advantage was one of the most dreadful decisions I've ever seen. It was one of the most stupid decisions. I mean, Grealish is through on goal. How can you stop it and call it back? How can you stop the game and call it back and give City a free kick when we clearly had an advantage, when Jack Grealish was clearly running through on goal? That's what even Pep Guardiola is telling. Just telling the Spurs players to F off. What was that? That was such a clear cheating thing by the referee. It's nothing there. The referee releases through on goal and you just call it back to give us a foul. When I say absolute shit refereeing, surely need a Paul. Grealish was clearly onside. When I Grealish was clearly onside and he was through on goal. It was a one-on-one 94th minute. I mean, I mean, there is VAR, right? The referee could have played the advantage, and then he could have checked it on VAR if something is wrong. He could have allowed it to run on Grealish scores, check on VAR. If you see a foul or something there, get the play back. Why do you need to whistle in the middle? That is an absolute shit thing. Absolute shit thing to rob the points. That's the only thing. It's absolute daylight robbery from this referee. That is shit piece of refereeing, I would say. Grealish is through on goal. You just cannot call it back. And why did he call it back? To give a foul, free kick in our favor. Who needs the free kick? We do not want the free kick. Play the bloody advantage. And the thing is, if the referee whistles for the foul, I can understand immediately. Okay, the referee hasn't seen the advantage, it's fine. The referee gives the advantage and he sees Grealish is through and then he whistles for the foul. That is clear daylight cheating. The referee clearly sees that Grealish is advantage. He gives the advantage. The referee turns and sees Grealish has an advantage, and then he fouls. What else is that if not cheating? Countainia says there can't be a better examples of bribery, cheating, biasness, and loads of shit. Exactly, Countainia. I can understand. Like I'm repeating, I can understand if the referee blows immediately. That's fine. The referee didn't see an advantage, but you point an advantage, you see the player, and then you whistle. My God, I was like, whistle it, whistle the match full time. That's done. You anyway want Spurs to win. Why not give them a free penalty? This is absolute shit. This is absolute shit. My God. I mean, what are the referees in this? What are the referees in this league coming to? Countainia says, I don't think an apology matters. PGMOL apologizes and messes up with things again. This is not an apology won't be sufficient, Countainia. An apology won't be sufficient, I think, because we are through on goal and the title could come down to these 2 points, 3 points, these 2 points that are lost. It very well could come down to title races with Liverpool have come down to one point at the in the previous seasons. Newcastle, the same thing happened, right? Newcastle, handball, never a handball, and it's given a penalty in favor of PSG. You sometimes feel that when I saw that decision, just going off topic of Newcastle being awarded a penalty against their favor against PSG, it almost felt that UEFA want to keep PSG in the Champions League because they're a big team, Paris, this and that. They have Kylian Mbappe there, and maybe I think UEFA couldn't see Kylian Mbappe play in the Europa League because if PSG lost that game 1-0 to Newcastle, PSG are effectively out. They're out of the Champions League. The same thing here almost. Same thing here. What the hell? I don't understand when you're VAR, let the bloody play run through, let really score a goal, and then you check if something's wrong, bring the play back. Who tells no? Bayaji says the whole defense is shit and now there won't be Rodri and Grealish at Villa. Surely going to lose. I was a bit disappointed by first the refereeing thing, Bayaji. The refereeing thing was shit. I can just go on about it all night, but I mean I don't even want an apology from them now. This is just something next level. Like Kandinya pointed out, it's bribery and all of that to the highest level. What the referees have been doing. Clearly, someone's through on goal in the 95th minute, but I think For the third goal, Ake could have done better because it was a straight header from Ake. I mean, of which Kulusevski scored. But my question is, why is someone having a free? It's almost like why is someone having a free kick sort of space to put the delivery in? Why is there no one closing him up? Because when you're 1v1 competing in an aerial duel, I don't care even if you're competing against Sergio Ramos. If as an attacker you get the leap, when a Messi can score against Sergio Ramos, I think he scored a similar goal like that in the Champions League. So I think that Nathan Ake one, I would actually blame the person who's given uh, the crosser that much space. And also for the second goal of Spurs, I was very unhappy with Akanji. You are in the middle of the park, you get the ball, keep it calm, let Man City settle down, pass it to Ederson, pass it sideways, and then go through. What Akanji does, it's almost like he really wants to play one touch football. He gets the ball, one touch, boom, into the middle of the park. Who plays one touch football in the middle of the park when you know that you lose the ball? Spurs, Son, Kulisaski, Brennan Johnson, Lesalso are in there to counter. Second goal was Akanji's mistake. I mean, Bhayaji, contrary to the thing, I think our defense was, Walker was good. Diaz was good. I think Walker was good. Diaz was good. Guardiola improved as the game went on. Guardiola in the second half was good. I think the goals we conceded were, especially in the second half, the two goals were due to especially the second one was due to Akanji losing his head. I think Akanji is, to play in that middle of the park, the role which Stones does, which Akanji is trying to do. I think you need to know when to pass it forward, when to keep the ball. You need to know how to control the tempo. I just feel that Akanji plays in a single tempo, just like Foden sometimes. That's why Pep doesn't prefer Foden in the middle of the park. Foden just receives the ball, pass. I think Akanji does that. The problem with Akanji doing that is your defense is immediately exposed. So I think Akanji playing in that Stones role was just causing havoc to us. Mayaji says one way or another they are all making errors and conceding goals. Just change the whole setup as it's not working. I think the thing that is destabilizing our defense, Bayaji, is Akanji going into the midfield. I think Stones comes into the midfield. I think it will be much more balanced. But I think against Villa, we might see John Stones playing the Rodri role, and I think I think maybe Akanji stepping into the midfield from the defense, and I think Stones will play the Rodri role, and I think Doku will play the Grealish role. I think so. I guess we'll be okay against Villa because Stones is here, unlike the last time when we were missing both Rodri and Stones. And I also think he might play Stones in the midfield along with Kovacic. I mean, along with Rico Lewis, to be honest. I think he might start Rico Lewis in a way against Villa and in the other games because Rico Lewis, when he came on, I thought he offered the most control of any of the players there on the pitch. Bayaji says, we drew at home against Spurs B team. Unacceptable. it's it's just missing chances. Bayaji, I think it's just missing chances. Haaland missed two open goals. Rodri missed an open chance. Three goals. This should honestly be 6-3. I think when you're missing chances, I think it doesn't matter. B team, C team, I think you lose. Spurs, how many shots did Spurs have on goal? They had four shots, probably three goals. And how many shots did we have on goal? Probably five, six shots easily on goal. Seven shots on goal. So I think clinicalness is the difference today. Erling Haaland was the difference today in terms of, Erling Haaland messing easy chances up. Vinay says Pep needs to identify the errors in the back and finishing alone is letting us down. The creativity, the build-up play, everything's been good. Against Liverpool, it was good. Against Spurs, it was good. If Erling Haaland performs even up to 60%, 50% of what his ability is, we are winning Liverpool match and we are winning this match. And we would have been in such a comfortable position there. We would have probably been a point ahead of Arsenal at this point of time, to be honest. But clearly, Haaland doesn't finish at Liverpool. Trent goes and scores at the other end. Haaland doesn't finish here. Two chances, two easy chances, and Spurs go and make it 3-3. Vinay says we can't beat a very weak Spurs even at home. But Vinay, I think this happened last time as well, right? Conte's previous season, I mean Conte's last season. Spurs were coming off a three-game losing streak at the Etihad, if you remember. February, I think they beat us. Mahrez scores a penalty in the last minute, and Kane scores it. They beat us 3-2. We lost to Spurs both home and away. I think in the last 3-4 seasons, we mostly lost to Spurs home and away. It was only the last season I think we defeated Spurs at home. Even under Jose, I think when Spurs were going downhill, we lost to them at home. I think it's a tradition. I hope we could break the tradition, but I don't know. With Spurs, I don't know why B team, C team. It's we don't score a single goal at their home. We hardly beat them at our home. I don't know what's this strange relationship with Spurs. I mean, and another thing with Spurs, there is always a refereeing controversy. Be it VAR, be it the referee today. Today, VAR was not involved, surprise, and then the referee comes in at the last minute. Vinay says, I'll not keep quiet now. Haaland needs around five chances to score one, just like bloody Sterling. I mean, this season it's been happening a lot. Vinay, to be honest, Nottingham Forest when Rodri got that red card there, we just escaped that with a narrow 2-1, 2-0 or 2-1 victory. I think narrow 1-0 victory, and Erling Haaland had three open chances, scored none. Leipzig he had two open chances in the first leg. Liverpool he had at least two open chances. Vinay, I think if you go and check the table of the highest amount of big chances missed, I think Haaland will be there on 12. Haaland has missed 12 big chances, I think, in this season. Just imagine he scores those 12, where he would be. Don't know what's happening with Haaland, to be honest. We are providing him. People are telling, no, KDB, you don't provide chances to Haaland. How many chances Haaland is getting? You're right, Vinay. Until Haaland starts finishing like the old, we can tell that he I think bloody Sterling would have finished one of those chances that Haaland has missed, to be honest. Vinay says Nunez does the same thing. Let's not compare Nunez with Haaland. I think Nunez is even worse than Haaland, to be honest. Bayaji says City needing 50 shots to score one. No composure in front of goal. Those two shots on goal post also hurt us. Literally, Bayaji, Haaland two chances. Rodri misses an open chance in the second half. Alvarez hits the post. Doku hits the post. Bernardo Silva relatively unmarked hits it straight at. Vicario makes a decent save, but Bernardo Silva should have finished it. So it's six chances to be honest. I can count six chances. It could easily it should have been 6-3, 7-3 this game. I don't know why it's finished 3-3. Even against Chelsea, it was the same thing. We're missing so many chances, and I think this season teams are also like coming at us more. They've realized that coming at us is. I think Pep needs to work out. I think tactically as well, Pep got a few things wrong. Starting Guardiola over Ake, I just didn't understand that. Okay, Ake, what Kulisaski's final goal, I don't know, but Guardiola over Ake, I didn't understand that. The midfield, Alvarez, again with Julian Alvarez, is kind of slowing the tempo down. There are two, three questionable things that Pep has got to us put out today. Vinay says this slow attacks are another bad disadvantage. How many senior players having good space, but they'll slow and wait for infinity. Alvarez is a clear example. Vinay Bayaji actually mentioned Alvarez at the start of the stream, and I was like, yeah, we were discussing about it. I was like, attacking phase Alvarez is shit from the midfield, and off the ball Alvarez is good, but he's slowing attacks down. What use is it if you're good off the ball? I I, I think Kovacic or Rico Lewis needs to play in place of Alvarez. To be honest, I think our best midfield could be Rodri, Rico Lewis, and Phil Foden, or Rodri, Rico Lewis, and Mateo Kovacic. To be honest, because both of them play early through balls. Bayaji says Haaland missing easiest of chances. That's a worry. It's not the first time this season he's missed it so many times. Don't know what's happening with him. Bayaji says every game this season we miss a chance and then concede right after that. Also can't manage the game when opposition having those 10 to 15 minutes of rhythm. This Bayaji this thing is I think the most concerning thing for me because Whenever we have won titles last season, season before, right from the Centurion season, every season you see 1-0 City have been able to manage games 1-0. You are confident that 1-0 City somehow will get through the game. This season, not even in a single match. I mean, we might have won some matches 1-0, but not even in a single match did am I having the confidence, or I'm sure you lot are also having the confidence that City can manage a game 1-0. No, it all. I mean, even when we are 2 goals up, I'm still not confident. It almost seems that we need a 3 goal cushion in order to get to the end. That is a worry. Absolutely, Bayaji. That is a big worry. Not able to close down games 1-0. That is absolutely a worry there. Pep needs to consider this. Vinay says last season to Haaland was scuffing shots, but now it's more often. That's true, Vinay. That's true. This season it's just gone up another level. But then again, when I argue with people about this in city social media groups and stuff, people say, "Bro, go and look at Haaland's record. He's the top scorer in the Premier League, and the Champions League is up there." But that doesn't take away from the fact that Haaland's missing open chances, right? Even in the season when Sterling got 20 odd goals or something, I was like, he should be getting 40 because he converts 1 in 5 chances. And that's what Erling Haaland's doing. This game, if we had even an average striker, this game is over by half time. We are literally on the throat of Spurs 5-0, 5-1 by half time. And also the way we have considered the first goal, the second goal. Spurs didn't create anything, right? I mean, which chance did Spurs create? Which chance did Spurs create? Maybe the third goal, but beyond that, the first goal we gifted them off a corner. The second goal we gifted them with Akanji throwing the ball straight into the middle of the park. It's just I mean, more than the defending, I would also say that our midfielders, i.e. Akanji, sometimes Alvarez, they are just gifting the ball away in the midfield, and that is actually putting stress on our defense because I thought our defense was all right. Guardiola was good in the second half. Diaz was good. Walker had a good game. Not many mistakes. I think all the mistakes have come from Manuel Akanji in the midfield, giving the ball away, not defending the core. How can you leave someone free from your own set piece? That to Son, I just can't understand. Bayaji says without Stones, just play traditional 4-3-3. Countinier says why is Pep trying Akanji in that Stones role? I'll just get to the comments. Vinay says no wonder fans have been demanding to bench Alvarez. He's not a ball carrier like KDB. I think it's just for the off the ball work, Vinay, to be honest, that Pep is playing Alvarez. Like I've said, on the ball attacking phase, Alvarez is the worst player at City, and off the ball, Alvarez is the best player at City. So I think you can see. I think Pep doesn't trust Phil Ford in that midfield to carry the tempo. I think Rico Lewis is starting. Alvarez is dropped, and Rico Lewis is starting. For me, the best midfield right now is Rodri, Rico Lewis, and Phil Foden. To be honest, Coutinho says, "Why is Pep trying Akanji in that Stones role?" I think it's for the second half of the season, Kandinya. I think Kandinya, it's no secret that whatever Pep does in the first half of the season is for getting a visualization of what is my best 11, who can play in what position, how do these players perform against certain kind of attacks, can these players carry out my instructions in a certain role. He's preparing everyone for that sort of mid-January kind of a run, when City always go on a run from mid-January to May, when we are mostly unbeaten in the Champions League, in the Premier League, whatever. So I think that's why Pep is trying out Akanji in that role, because you get to a Champions League round of 16 quarterfinal match against Real Madrid and Stones is suddenly ill and injured. What do you do? And till that point, you're playing this. The Stones is coming into the midfield. What do you do? So Pep wants to know if Akanji is capable of doing that coming into the midfield, because I think Stones coming into the midfield, no team has been able to crack it, to be honest. Inter Milan played a diamond and cracked it, but apart from that, I think when Stones comes into the midfield, he gives you so many advantages. He creates space. He can, There are a lot of things that Stones does. So I think Pep is trying out Stones in that Akanji role, to be honest. Bayaji says, last season Haaland used to make up for that in the second half, but this season not happening. I think Coutinho said in a, I think this was 3-4 games ago before the last international break when Haaland was missing same amount of chances. I think Coutinho said that Haaland might be tired, in terms of him starting every game from last season till from he's come to City to now. Maybe it's a bit of mental fatigue, not the physical one, but mental fatigue, and that could be a reason probably. I think maybe against Villa again Pep needs to take this call, but could he play Alvarez up front and drop give Erling Haaland a rest? Because I think with Erling Haaland, it's a bit of a mental fatigue more than anything else right now. With him missing so many chances, it could sometimes become too much of a repetitive cycle, and mental fatigue could kick in with Erling Haaland. So I don't know. Musi says defense is rubbish this season, bro. We have been so awful against Big Six, bro. Look at the record. More than the defense, Musi, more than the defense, I think it's the fact that we have given the ball away in the midfield, which is putting stress on our defense. That's the underlying point here. How easily have we given the ball away in the midfield? That is the thing. Because the philosophy of Pep Guardiola is you defend from the front and attack from the back. So I lay the blame on the midfielders, the lack of the shield that they've been given people like Ruben Diaz and stuff. And honestly, I think Rodri is also looking a bit fatigued, to be honest. Again, mental fatigue more than anything else. Against Leipzig, he was playing a few passes here and there. And in this game as well, this is not the energetic Rodri. So us conceding so many goals, have multiple factors. Midfield, no control. Rodri is looking with a bit of a lack of energy. Again, this comes to Calvin Phillips not working out, and also I would not blame it. Ruben Diaz, okay. Ake had a bad game against Wolves. Ruben Diaz rubbish against Chelsea. Defenders have had individual bad games, but on a whole, I think the defense has been all right. The defense has been all right against Liverpool, for example. We were superb. There were games where against Arsenal the defense was largely superb, but deflected goal which is out of our control. So I just think that it's the midfield, and it's the midfield that's not able to provide good shield to our defense. That's the problem. Musi says we have only won one game out of we have only won one game against the Big Six this season, and and that too United. Chelsea is I won't consider Chelsea as a Big Six, but that's against United, right? Draw against Tottenham, we lost against Arsenal, draw against Chelsea, draw against Liverpool. At least we have not lost those games. Vinay says Ake should have been clear that cross. Man, it's his best attribute. But Vinay, I think sometimes when you look at Kulusevski, I think when an attacker, Kulusevski is tall as well, but when an attacker gets that leap on you, I think it's difficult because there have been goals. If you see when Messi scores against someone like a Sergio Ramos as well. So so I just think that it's just that leap. I don't blame Ake there. I blame the delivery. I blame the person who has not I blame the person who has not uh, who has not covered for that delivery. There's someone who should be putting pressure on the one who crosses the ball inside, to be honest. Vinay says Edison is shit lazy. Bum, he slept for all goals. Can't save in key moments. I think the third goal was unsavable. The second goal was unsavable. The first goal, maybe he should have covered the near post well, but the second and third goal, Kulusevski header was unsavable in the corner. That's the difference, Vinay. Doku and Alvarez have the balls in the corner, they hit the post. And Kulusevski and Liselso have the balls in the corner, they hit the post and go into the goal. Again, I'm not telling it's luck or something, but I don't know. It's been that kind of a day for us. When I say Stones is injury prone now, Rico has to play now. Rico needs to play. Again, this brings back the question: should we have pumped out 10, 20 million more and got Declan Rice who could play in that Stones role. I think this could be the reason why City set in that late bid for Declan Rice, because he could play in that Stones role. Seeing that Stones is injured and things like that, those things. I think not getting Paqueta and not getting Stones, not getting Declan Rice, not going all in for Declan Rice, could they hurt us? I don't know at this point. At this point, it seems we should have got at least one of Paqueta or Rice, but due to obvious reasons, we didn't get them. And Nunez at least doesn't seem to be working at this moment, to be honest. Musi says, I heard from commentator that Jack Grealish scored after April. That's shocking. Doku was lit today, crack. Star Doku was just unwell, Musi. I think like when I mentioned in the chat early on, Doku was just he was not at his usual best. I don't know why is that. Maybe there was some niggle or something there, but he needs to play against Villa. But Grealish. I mean, I won't blame Grealish. Okay, he scored the first time since April. I know in April he scored against Liverpool. I think at the Etihad, and now is scored again. But the role of Grealish has been vastly different throughout our treble-winning season. He's been asked to, being on the wing, contain. It's not been a goal-scoring role for Grealish. So I probably can't blame Grealish for that. It's just instructions from Pep more than anything else. Vinay says Grealish was never the goal. Exactly, Grealish's role was completely different. It was completely different. Bayaji says it was foolish from Jack to kick the ball away in the 60th minute and get an unnecessary yellow. It might actually be good, Bayaji, that he doesn't play against Aston Villa, because Aston Villa are a compact side, and I would maybe see Doku play against Aston Villa than Jack Grealish. So I'm not as much concerned with it, but my concern is Rodri missing that game as well. Now I don't know, because Villa away is definitely a tough game. Musi says mod off bro today. Now we'll watch mood off bro today. Now we'll watch Barca versus Atletico Madrid. It was the same thing, Musi. Uh, after the Chelsea thing as well, mood was off. But luckily international break was there, and then after the international break, Liverpool draw, Spurs draw, and that too. This is at the Etihad. I know we are like this in the first half of the season. I know that previously in the first half of the season, I think 2 years back, we lost to Newcastle. I think 2 years back, we drew with Leicester. We lost to Newcastle in the December month. We literally had no wins at all. We just drew 3 games outright and lost 1 game. And I know December months are like this for City, but I don't know. This season, it somehow feels that there are a lot more things that Pep Guardiola needs to address. KDB, I do not know how much fitness he could be having even after coming back. John Stones, how fit can we keep him? Can we get a replacement for someone who can play that John Stones role in January and stuff? I just do not know. See, all of these are the reasons, Kandinya, why you had asked the question why Pep is playing Akanji question mark over a lot of things like John Stones' fitness and stuff. That's why he's playing Akanji. He's trying Akanji out in the Stones role. Bayaji says every weekend going to waste since that effing Chelsea game. Draw after 4-3, World Cup loss, draw from 1-0 versus Pool, and tonight again. And also the worst thing, Bayaji, the worst thing is, okay, if Chelsea were leading 4-3, we came back 4-4. If Spurs were leading 3-2, come back 3-3. The mood is different. The mood will be different. Okay, we have come back, salvaged the point. Against Chelsea, Rodri scored his goal, and I thought customary Rodri winning goal. Diwali day, boom boom Rodri. We were leading 4-3, lose it. I mean, draw it. Felt like a loss. Against Chelsea, we were losing. Against Spurs today, we were winning, draw it. How many Liverpool winning, draw it? How many times have you seen City drop points from winning positions? That is the concern here. From winning positions, how many times have we dropping? Have we dropped points? I don't remember at all. I don't remember at all in the recent past. Because when we go in front, our win percentage goes to 90%, something like that. Wolves as well was shit, if you remember. 1-0, 1-0 down, 1-1. I thought we'll kick on and score 2-1 or keep it at 1-1, take a draw, bad off day for someone like Ake will go. No, you have to concede another goal, 2-1. Against Arsenal, it was the same thing. I was like, okay, no Rodri, no KDB. Doku didn't play as well. Keep a draw, 0-0, and bloody deflection. I don't know, things are just not clicking this season for us. Vinicius was always certain from the start. Haaland and Alvarez together won't work for most of the times. Nunez can't hold carry better than him. What's Pep doing here? I think Vinay Alvarez and Haaland work, and that's shown in the Leipzig game. But they don't, like you pointed out, they don't work when Alvarez plays in the midfield. They work when Alvarez plays as a second striker. To be honest, 4-4-1-1. You let Alvarez do the work like Gabriel Jesus, just play on the shoulder of Haaland, drop in. Because against Leipzig, if you see, Alvarez was playing as a second striker to Haaland. It's almost a 4-4-1-1. And both of them played wonderfully well. I don't understand this experiment. Well, I do understand because I think Pep is thinking of Julian Alvarez as a Thomas Muller. But I think Julian Alvarez is best in 4-4-1-1, and I don't think Alvarez has the vision of Thomas Muller, to be honest. Musi says missing stones so much, bro. Musi, if we had stones, I don't think we lose against Wolves. I don't think we lose against Arsenal. I don't think we lose against Liverpool. I don't think we lose against Chelsea. I don't think we lose against Liverpool. I don't think we lose this game. Literally, it would have been an unbeaten run if we had John Stones. Literally an unbeaten run. You go back and see all of those games right from Wolves when Rodri missed the game and a bad streak started, and you analyze each of those games and you'll see that if you had Stones, you probably win most of those games or you draw a few of those games. You don't lose those games. You would have been unbeaten till now. John Stones, and it's already our, I mean, it's already our, I think, third draw of the season. Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs. My God. Bayaji says Pep keeps playing same 11 with same formation and having same results barring Leipzig win. And why was that Leipzig win also there, Bayaji? Because Pep changed the formation. Pep changed the 11. He played Alvarez as second striker. He removed a defender. I don't remember whom, but he removed a defender and brought on Alvarez. Pep went for it. I'm actually surprised. Another thing, Bayaji, I'm surprised by the fact that Pep is not playing Rico Lewis. Pep is not starting Rico Lewis. After the Chelsea game, you needed to learn your lesson that Alvarez is not working. What is it that Julian Alvarez gives that Rico Lewis doesn't? What is it? Tell me, tell me, guys, if I missed something there. What is that Rico Lewis Alvarez gives and Rico Lewis doesn't? Work rate, Rico Lewis works well. Rico Lewis presses well. Rico Lewis is much more creative on the ball than Alvarez. Rico Lewis is faster than Alvarez. Rico Lewis maintains more control than Alvarez. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Rico Lewis, why Rico Lewis is not starting ahead of Julian Alvarez. Musi says that's what happens when you don't kill the game in the first half. It's always tricky taking games into the final minutes. But Musi City have managed these things, right? City have managed these things in the past. To be honest, we are 1-0 down, we are 1-0 up. How many times last season and before that we have managed 1-0 up and we manage a game? The Champions League final against Inter Milan, 1-0. How we managed that, right? Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, 1-1. We managed to draw that game. We kept 1-1 for the last 20-30 minutes. So against Bayern, we defended well. Against Leipzig, 1-1. We managed 1-1, drew that game, came back in the round of 16 last season. Numerous examples where City maintained those 1-0 leads or comfortably. We do what we want to do, but and also another thing, and and another thing is that is Pep experimenting too much with the defense. Like, he's telling Guardiola to go wide, Walker to go wide. That is leaving Ruben Diaz to cover a huge amount of space, especially with Akanji going. up and his Akanji is not able to come back in time. I think Pep is experimenting something in the defense. Otherwise, you have the best defense in the world. I know results don't show you that, but Ruben, look at the names. Kyle Walker, best right back in the world. Ruben Diaz, arguably the best centre back in the world. Josko Guardiol, best young centre back in the world. Nathan Ake, top three centre back in the world. Manuel Akanji, very good. I mean, I tell you the lineup of our defenders, and you're like, City have assembled defenders who on their day could easily claim a Ballon d'Or. That's how good these names are. Kyle Walker, Ruben Diaz. You're having generational defenders in Walker and Diaz, and Guardiola is being compared to Maldini himself in an interview said Josko Guardiola could reach to the level that I have risen to. So people are comparing Josko Guardiola with Maldini, Baresi. So I mean, I think Pep is experimenting something with the defense that's making them also hard to execute the plans. Musi says little bit missing Gundo clutch, bro. I wish he had stayed. I don't have that confidence on Kovacic. I just don't know. I think Musi. The thing is, Lucas Paqueta. We we actually paid everything for Lucas Paqueta. I keep on getting to that name. Okay, Gundo, he should have stayed. Okay, he's gone. But Lucas Paqueta, it's just unfortunate. We were ready to pay the money, and that thing, the betting thing comes out. But Lucas Paqueta for me would have made so much difference in that midfield. In this kind of a game, he would have killed it, Lucas Paqueta. He's very good through ball. His ball control, he is called as a pressing demon. I think Lucas Paqueta, I mean, I don't know what people will say here, but I think Lucas Paqueta is what is actually missing for us, to be honest. Bayaji says, Kova is a waste. Nunez still not integrated fully into the squad and already injured. Tisiki better get busy in the winter. I honestly hope Bayaji that in the winter the news is Valentin Barco will be getting Valentin Barco, but then that's fine. But apart from that, I honestly wish we go in for Lucas Paqueta again. I mean, I know I'm rolling about that guy, but that guy is everything you need in a midfield. He can play excellent through balls. He's called as a pressing demon. He presses as good as Bernardo Silva. We have seen when we played West Ham, you just could not get the ball of Lucas Paqueta. Imagine Lucas Paqueta in that midfield alongside Rodri. That would just be something else. That would just be something else. And the guy had experience playing alongside Declan Rice and Southcheck and stuff in the defensive role. Lucas Paqueta is everything we needed. Unfortunately, the deal didn't go through. I mean, we would become unbeatable if we had Lucas Paqueta and John Stones fit and Lucas Paqueta in that midfield. Unfortunate we didn't get him. Musi says Alvarez is our best player this season, bro. Today we won't have discussed these things if and only Haaland buried those easy chances. But Musi, the thing is, that's the thing. Alvarez is not been a best player. Okay, Alvarez has assisted and stuff, but apart from the numbers, what Vinay said was spot on in the fact that he told Alvarez slows the game down. Alvarez, he slows attacks down. He takes one or two extra touches. The touches of Julian Alvarez are the touches of a striker in the box. But whereas in the midfield, you cannot take touches of a striker because in the box you maybe have a little bit more extra time, because it's just the defender coming behind you. But in a midfield, you have someone from front of you, someone from behind you, someone from the side of you. It's a 360 game in the midfield, and I actually do not think that. Uh, I think they're showing some fight between Haaland and someone, to be honest. But yeah, I just do not think that Alvarez is fit to play in the midfield, to be honest. Not his mistake. Pap is playing him there, but Alvarez, like I said, very good, our best player off the ball, on the ball, in our maybe bottom three players. Three worst players at City this season, Julian Alvarez on the ball. He just slows down attacks. I don't care how many assists Alvarez gives and all, to be honest. Bayaji says draw at home feels like a loss, especially from winning position. Bayaji, when you said it all started from that effing Chelsea game, each one of those games felt like a loss, right? Chelsea felt like a loss. We lost the World Cup, was sad, and then that Liverpool game felt like a loss. 1-0, Haaland should have buried the chance. We were 2-0 up. The game's done. This feels like a loss. All of the games feel like a loss, to be honest. Right from the Chelsea game, every game feels like a loss. Bayaji says Alvarez keeps running all the time to win the ball back, and when he does, he loses it in no time to make a bad pass. That's the thing, Bayaji. That's the thing. Alvarez is just on the off the ball. On the ball is not good. Vinay says this is on Pep, out of position, bound to make mistakes. It's clear Alvarez can't cope midfield pressure, and Guardiola is nowhere left back. Guardiola still, Vinay, is improved in the second half. I do agree playing Guardiola there, but Alvarez is just not there. And also I think with Jeremy Doku in, how about bringing in a natural left back? Since Pep has come here, no natural left back. Mendy he was 5-6 games, but no natural left back. How about providing width to Jeremy Doku or Jack Grealish? People blame Jack Grealish for not being attacking enough, but how about providing a full back, left back who can overlap so that you don't double in on Doku or Jack Grealish? Imagine the space Doku will get if you have a full back who can overlap instead of always coming into the midfield and stuff. Things which Pep Guardiola needs to look at, to be honest. Chini says City are not able to get the points with the top teams. I think this will make them to lose the title. Uh, Chini, I think in the first half of the season, I mean, I'm more concerned, Chini, about the problems which City are facing than the results because I think last season, the first half, by the December end, Arsenal were 8 points ahead of us with a game in hand. So effectively, Arsenal were around 10 points ahead of us. The season before, I think it was the same thing. The season before, it was the same thing. Liverpool were at a point, I think January the second, when we played Liverpool at the Etihad, Liverpool were 8 points ahead of us. If they drew with us, the title was over. So I think in each of the seasons, Centurion season was like we won it early on, but from 2018 to till now, till the last season, every season we won the title. We at least go 8 to 10 points behind. I don't say that we have to do that thing, but we go so much behind and we claw the points back. So at this stage, I'm not worried about us losing points and us not being able to claw the gap back. We can do it. We will try it. I mean, KDB will be back, but I'm more concerned about what's going wrong. I'm more concerned about Julian Alvarez being shit in that slowing down attacks. I'm more concerned about why our defense is being able to be played through so easily. I'm concerned about Josko Guardiola, why he's leaving so much space. Ruben Diaz, I mean, why is Ruben Diaz suddenly leaving so much space? I'm concerned about those things. So I think rather than the points at this stage, to be honest. Bayaji says, play Rico or Nunez in Alvarez position at Villa. At least change something. Bayaji, Pep will change. You could ask Pep to change everything. You could ask Pep to drop Haaland and he'll do it. I don't know what's this love affair with Julian Alvarez. He will not drop Julian Alvarez, to be honest. I don't know why is that. I don't know why he doesn't drop Julian Alvarez when it's a. I mean, we are not even saying drop Julian Alvarez. Bloody play a 4-4-2, play a 4-4-2 with a flat back four, and then play a four midfield with Rodri and someone like a Kovacic there in the two, and Foden and Bernardo on either sides, or even Grealish can play in the midfield uh, and play both Alvarez and Haaland up top. In that way, I think you have a more rigid and solid structure, right? Which will be hard to play through for the opponents. Rather than that, I mean, I think one of the problems with this City team is there are too many variables here, and the players are really finding it difficult to, decouple. The players are really finding it difficult to carry the instructions. Manuel Akanji playing in that Stones role, you need to be of some other level to do that, and I don't think Akanji is. there yet. Pep is telling Akanji to carry out some of the most complex instructions there can ever be in the world of football, and going from center back to CDM, center back to midfield, coming back, that's so difficult. Pep is telling Josko Guardiola to, play wide, be 1v1 with your wingers, cover a lot of space, which is again very difficult. Walker can do it, but not a young 21-year-old Josko Guardiola. Pep is telling Alvarez to play in a position which is not natural to him. Pep is telling Alvarez to go out and play there like Thomas Muller. I think Thomas Muller is a generational player, that player who can. It's a special position for Thomas Muller, basically, which has been created. So, Pep is literally telling three players in the team to do different things: Alvarez, Guardiola, and Manuel Akanji. So, I think there are too many variables Pep is playing with, to be honest. Biagis's City looks laboring at the moment, both in attack and defense. Nothing like smooth sitting cruise control of past seasons. That is absolutely true, Bayaji. The only thing is, and also another thing, Bayaji, when you use the word laboring over there, I think Rodri is an interesting thing. Rodri looks like he is laboring to be honest. Rodri looks like it just seemed like Rodri was not having that kind of an engine to cover the ground and stuff, because generally Rodri covers so much ground. I mean, Rodri played the entirety of last season, the World Cup, the international break, the qualifiers, everything. He's played everything last season. This season is playing all of those qualifiers and stuff. Not a moment rest for Rodri from the last one season, 1.5 season, almost 2 seasons. If you go the season before as well, no rest for Rodri from the last 2 seasons at least. I just hope Rodri doesn't get injured. We need. I think one of the problems is Calvin Phillips hasn't clicked. I think if Calvin Phillips had clicked, it would be a different thing, because I think Calvin Phillips has played in these kind of a games, right? A lot of time with Marcelo Bielsa. I think we need a CDM backup, to be honest. We need a John Stones backup. We need a CDM backup. My God, we need a central attacking midfielder. I mean, because De Bruyne is injured, we need a left back. We at least need 3 to 4 positions there. I don't know what you'll do in January. Valentin Barco is coming, but that's all. We need backups. We need backups. We need a lot of backups, to be honest. Bayaji says, why not give Josko his natural position of left centre back and get a specialist left back who can help Doku or Grealish make overlapping runs? That's $1 million question, Bayaji. That's $1 million question. I don't know why you buy a centre back who's been the best in the World Cup. Only Messi could dribble past him. Who's been the best at Leipzig? 100 million centre back, Rolls Royce centre back, and you start playing him at left back. I just think that the only thing why Pep is not playing Guardiola at left centre back is he wants someone to play that Stones role. So Akanji is able to do it. I don't think uh, Guardiola trusts Guardiola to play that Akanji role coming into the midfield and stuff. But I think he's a bit wrong there. I think Guardiola has more technical ability than Akanji. Maybe I think footballing brain wise, I don't know what Pep has seen in Akanji that Guardiola doesn't offer. So again, it's interesting. The point's interesting, Bayaji, that you made, because Pep is preferring Ruben Diaz and Akanji. Both, when he has the choice of putting in a left centre back and the right centre back together, he's preferring to go with both centre backs who are right footed. So I don't know why this is happening. If Stones is there, it's a different thing, but you're right. Diaz and Guardiola, left footed and right footed, the combination would be different. And with Guardiola playing at left centre back, he could ping those diagonal balls in to some to someone like a Foden on the right wing, or or someone who plays a Bernardo on the right wing. I don't know why he's not playing Guardiola on at left centre back. Really, that's a really valid comment, to be honest. Bayaji says Doku should be trying aerial crosses once in a while. My fear by Ajay with Doku is Pep actually trying to turn Doku into another Jack Grealish, because Grealish was action packed at Villa, but look at what Grealish has become now. Okay, we won the treble and all of it, but I just hope Pep doesn't turn Doku into Grealish. That's what I'm actually seeing. I think Pep is placing some restrictions on Doku, to be honest. Vinay says, at the moment, everything isn't proper. First of all, where's the energy in the midfield? Every top six club have good energetic midfield. Have to blame. I mean, again, when I come back to Rodri, 2 years, 2.5 years, the poor guy is playing in without rest at CDM. It's all on recruitment. It's all on Tixiki Pakarastan there. You have recruited Callan Phillips, didn't work out this season. Callan Phillips told that I will try, but then you had a decision to make. Okay, you let Callan Phillips try, but you also sign a CDM there. I maybe think Matthews Nunes and Lucas Paqueta were what Pep was thinking in place of Rodri to give Rodri some rest. I don't know. Maybe I think news is coming out that from good sources that Pep thought Paqueta could play that Gundogan role and he could hold the midfield on his own against lesser teams and Rodri could get rest. And Matthews Nunes unfortunately is injured. So it's on recruitment. The midfield, Rodri fatigued. Alvarez not a real midfielder. And the third position, you just do not know who plays in the midfield. Bernardo's all over. Phil Foden's sometimes out wide, sometimes in the midfield. Against Leipzig, Foden has a five-star performance in the midfield. Against Inter Milan, Foden has a five-star performance in the Champions League final. Against Bournemouth, I think Foden was in the midfield. So whenever you put Foden in the midfield against young boys, Foden has a five-star performance in the midfield. Whenever you put Foden in that cam position, Foden's done exceptionally well, and still you start him out wide. And with Bernardo roaming so much, I just think that it's all a bit messed up now. The tactical instructions to players are just messed up now. It's just so puzzling if you look at it, to be honest. Bayaji says no real options on the bench either. And, and Bayaji, the concerning thing is, except KDB, no one's out as well. Okay, Matthews Nunes is out, but he'll be back. But if you look at our bench, that's all we have except KDB. There's no, it's not like you have 10 players injured and we're playing with a uh, we are running ragged. That's not the case as well. I mean, everyone, most of us are fit except Nunez and KDB. That's all. Except KDB, I would assume we are full strength. Maybe Nunez. So I think the answer to the see last season the answer to this situation was because last season also we were shit, right? November, December we were shit. We were absolutely shit. November, December, January we were shit. Okay, November World Cup was there, but we were shit in these parts, and the answer to that was, I remember last season Stamford Bridge. I think early January, Stamford Bridge. It was a worst Chelsea team under Graham Potter. I think at that time, January or before that, 0-0. Cancelo had a shit game, and after half time, Pep brings on Rico Lewis. We win that game 1-0. Mahrez assists and Grealish scores. So Grealish assists and Mahrez scores. I think again the answer to kick-starting this season lies with Rico Lewis. I think Rico Lewis is holding the key to kick-start this season. I think Pep needs to play Rico Lewis against Aston Villa, whatever people might say. Vinay says, yeah, Pep complexing things. I think Vinay, with the team we have, to be honest, you just tell them to play in a 4-4-3, not 4-3-3, not complicating things. They win most of the time. So so I just think it's Pep complicating things, but again, we just can't go too much on Pep because he was doing the same thing last season as well. John Stones midfield, all of Rico Lewis in the midfield, that switched to John Stones in the midfield, won the treble. So you see, Pep has invented certain positions in the Premier League, like Zinchenko. Pep has thought everybody that a midfielder could play as a left back as well, a centre back could come into the midfield as well. Purpose a striker could play in the midfield. It's not working with Alvarez. So I think Pep is complexing things, but I think it can go two ways. Like we go on that incredible run in the second half of the season, or we could just be fighting for the Champions League spots. That either one of the things could happen. I hope Pep figures it out like he always does. Bayaji says last season the same defense conceded only 3 goals in 7 knockout games against the likes of Leipzig, Bayern, Real Madrid, and Inter. But how appalling they're looking right now. And also in those three goals by Ajit, the stunning thing is in those three goals as well, Bayern scored a penalty against us, which was never a penalty. Everyone told it was not a penalty. Vinicius Junior scored a stunner from outside the box, and Josko Guardiola scored a goal against us. That was a foul on Ruben Diaz. So literally, I think this defense last season in the knockout games, they conceded just one goal, one official goal. I mean, one goal. They just conceded one goal from open play. That's all. That was how this defense was. And lawfully, they conceded just one goal. That was Vinicius Junior's strike from outside the box. The rest all were fouls that were iffy, weird decisions. How can such a defense go from? But Bayaji, another thing to notice. How are we defending in those knockout games? Ake, Walker, Ruben Diaz, John Stones, right? That was the defense, and or Akanji maybe instead of Ake, whatever it is. They were not coming forward. They were sitting compact, tight at the back as a back four. Stones was going into the midfield, but Ake and Walker rarely came forward against Bayern, against Leipzig, against Madrid, against Inter to an extent. They were sitting back and compact. And you compare the defensive structure here, we are like all over the place. Pep has changed it. I think if Pep continued with the same defensive structure this season, we would not have lost a single game by now. Not a single game. Look at the defenders here. Diaz, like I mentioned, Walker, Diaz, Guardiola, Ake. That is a generational defense. That is a group of Rolls Royce defenders put together with the best CDM in the world shielding you. I mean, that's what I don't understand, guys. The best CDM in the world is shielding you, and you have the best collection of defenders. And still, you concede so many goals. I don't know. Vinay says Rodri needs a good partner, otherwise, he loses calmness. I think Rodri has been overworked, Vinay, to be honest. Rodri has been he's been overworked so much. Fatigue, Haaland mental fatigue, Rodri mental fatigue. So his mental fatigue is kicking in. Vinay says, how much time does Pep need to play properly? Eddie Howe with so many injuries is getting results, and now Ange. But one difference, Vinay, between Ange, Eddie Howe and Pep Guardiola is, you see, system exactly when it's a system fault. But then I would say that with Eddie Howe and Ange and even Arteta to an extent, you see the and even Klopp to an extent, you see their last 4 seasons. Okay, Ange wasn't here, but the other three managers, you see their last 4 seasons, and you see Pep in his last 4 seasons. What did Pep do in his last 4 5 seasons? He played a double false nine with Bernardo and Foden when we didn't have a striker and Jesus was injured. Then he played Zinchenko. He played a midfielder coming into the midfield. He played a midfielder at left back dropping into the midfield. He's played a defender going into the midfield. He's played Rico Lewis last season for some time right back dropping into the midfield. I think Pep's last 5 seasons, you can see 5 different innovations. Pep's last 5 seasons, he played a box midfield last season. I think Pep's last 5 seasons, you can see that it's each season, each season Pep has won the title, and each season Pep has told, okay, I'll change this, and we are like, why do you need to change this? I sometimes look at it and think maybe I think that is the difference between a Pep Guardiola staying for 10 years at City. It's been 7 years right now, but a Pep Guardiola staying 10 years at City and winning, and a Pep Guardiola winning 5 Premier Leagues in 6 seasons and still retaining that hunger, and a Jose Mourinho having fights in the dressing room after his third season, and an Antonio Conte having fights in the dressing room after his third season after winning just one Premier League. I think maybe that's the difference. Every season, it's a long, complex tactical talk. I think every season the instructions are different. I think every season players get to see something innovative and new, which takes time to be implemented. And that is why I think as City fans, I think I sometimes feel I sometimes feel that we I mean as this draw seems like a loss. I think this is much needed. I think as City fans we are much more stressed out in the first half of the season, whereas I think Pep is not so stressed out because Pep knows he's trying something. He's trying a tactic which opponents will not be able to deal with. Because in the second half of the season, everyone is worried about relegation, title race, this and that. So when Pep comes out with a new tactic in the second half of the season, which is perfected in the first half, teams will not be able to, and the schedule catches up with you in the second half. FA Cup, Champions League, Europa League, relegation battles, this, that. So I think teams are just not able to have time in the training sessions to figure Pep's tactic that is perfected in the first half of the season. So I think this innovativeness, this freshness from Pep Guardiola is what keeps that hunger going. Otherwise, my question always is how can a team win five Premier Leagues out of six in the last 6 seasons without getting demotivated, without losing the hunger, without taking it easy? There must be something in the methods of Pep Guardiola. There must be something new which the players are always looking to, which the players have to perfect. I think it's with Pep Guardiola. I think it's almost like a challenge. That I mean, it's almost like if you give a kid the same puzzle for 3 days, 4 days in a row, he'll be bored. He'll tell, "What the hell is this?" But if you give a kid a new challenge every week, a new puzzle every day, he's like, "Oh, this seems to be new. This scenario seems to be new." I think it's the same with Pep and City players. I think Pep gives a new tactical set of instructions to City players every season, and people are like, how do I execute this? And I think that is one of the reasons why players are able to retain the hunger, to be honest. Vinay says many managers have copied Pep to counter too. That is true, Vinay. That is true, and Pep needs to evolve. To be honest, Pep needs to evolve. To be honest, and Pep needs to evolve. I think you Mikel Arteta is an example. Mikel Arteta is almost uh, Pepe spot is left back into the midfield, and what has Mikel Arteta done? He's taken the same left back in Zinchenko and is playing him in the midfield. Now John Stones and Arteta is looking to copy what Pep is doing with John Stones with Saliba in there, or Gabriel. I think it's Saliba coming into the midfield. How do you counter that? I think Pep, every season, that's another thing why Pep needs to evolve, to be honest. Look at what's happened to Jurgen Klopp, to be honest. Hasn't evolved in the previous seasons. And what happened since? And it's not much going on for him. This season is got Trent into the midfield and stuff, and Liverpool seems to be going on. But I think if you don't evolve, the hunger goes down, to be honest. And that's something which Pep has perfected, how to keep the hunger in his players. Bayaji says, take care of defense until we are full strength. No fan would mind 1-0 wins at the moment. In first half of 2021 season, there were lots of such wins. Bayaji, my only thing is, let Pep try these things. I mean, me and you are no one to say that Pep is wrong because he's one as the treble. But let Pep try these things. But Bayaji, like you said, we need to graft wins as well. We can't go like you put it in the comment. We can't go 10 points behind Arsenal, right? We are 3 points behind. I will be happy if we end up in January round about 4 points behind, 4 5 points behind Arsenal. That would be fine. Anything above 5 points, I think we'll have to again go on those insane winning runs and stuff, because in the second half of the season we have to go to Spurs Stadium, we have to go to Anfield, face Arsenal at the Etihad. So I think if we can keep the gap to 5 points at the top, whoever could be Arsenal, Liverpool, whatever, if we can keep the gap to 5 points, I actually think we are in a perfect position for the second half of the season, to be honest. Vinay says all hopes on Stones plus big KDB return. How much we are dependent on KDB. My fear is, what if KDB gets injured again? What if Stones gets injured again? I don't know, but again, when I this all is getting well for the Champions League, right? Because KDB is rested for half of the season and he comes right in time for the Champions League knockouts. Stones also is most of the time injured right now. Last season as well, his second half of the season is when he came to the fore. So I think we are somehow all the pieces are falling in place for the Champions League more than anything else. Vinay says So Madman Pep is purposely losing points so that players take it seriously and not feel like they're having easy having easy run. I don't think it's purposely done. I don't think it's purposely done, but I think it's just the tactical instructions is trying something new, and the players are just not able to execute it. For example, is telling Guardiola, Diaz, and Walker to defend those wide spaces. That's why today Son, Johnson, Brian Gill, and everyone were having so much space to run into Lissel. So, whereas last season, second half, we were playing so narrow. I mean, the way we played against Arsenal was how we were playing last season. Narrow, there was no space for opponents to run into. But this season is just playing it wide and stuff. It's trying something new, and that's why we are losing points. I think that's the only thing. I don't think it's on purpose. It's just that tactical instructions, new tactical instructions, losing points. And why do you have to give new tactical instructions? I just think it's to keep the freshness in the players. I think. Bayaji says we are yet to play Spurs, Pool, Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford, and Villa away. Oh God. That second half of the season is gonna be brutal. That second half of the season is gonna be brutal. But the only thing is when we go on that run, when we go on that insane run, and when we have to win, I think we do complete our job. Our only hope is we go on that win. My another surprise, my another thing is Vinay, what will be the outcome of this tactical experiment he's doing? I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know because if nothing comes out of this, then the picture will be that why has he even experimented? He could just play the same thing that won him the treble last season. But maybe I think the same thing that won you the treble last season. That's how players might get bored. I don't know. Vinay says will rise in the second half of the season when everyone sleeps. A new tactic is coming, I think, Vinay. A new tactic is coming. A new tactic is coming. There was a discussion, Vinay, of a false winger, to be honest, of a uh, of Pep trying out that false winger tactic, where Bernardo Silva is the decoy. Bernardo Silva is the false winger. We tried it against Manchester United for the second goal. So there are rumors that Pep is trying a false winger this time, false winger tactic, and that's why he's telling Bernardo to move on either flanks. He's given a free role to Bernardo so that Bernardo can be the decoy, and then or Doku can be the decoy, and Bernardo can arrive at the position of Doku to put the ball in, something like that. False winger is what rumors are coming that Pep is trying out. So maybe we should prepare commentators and pundits talking about like, what a false winger is in the second half of the season. I don't know. Bhaiya just says hope so again. It's hope has been so good for us for this club, right? Uh, whenever people thought we were dead and buried, last season is an example. Dead and buried, lost down 2-0 at Spurs, 2-0 against Spurs, 1-4-2, and then after that, we were nil-nil at Stamford Bridge against the stupid Chelsea side. Somehow came back and won 1-0 second half of the season. This club has always taught us to rise from the ashes like a phoenix whenever we've been down and out. So hope for the second half of the season when KDB comes back. Vinay says, whom should we bring in January? Concerned on midfield options who are like destroys. Exactly, Vinay, exactly that. That is the thing that's bothering me. There's been one name linked, Valentin Barco, left back, who's coming in, and he's said to be a generational talent, but on the ball. So be prepared, guys, for a fullback who will again going into the midfield, Valentin Barco. But no other names have been linked. Kimmich is linked, but I don't think Kimmich will come to us in January. That too when Bayern are in Champions League. I know there's no rule that you cannot play for two clubs like it was earlier in the Champions League knockouts and stuff, but I don't think Kimmich will come. But Lucas Paqueta is what there are rumors. I mean, no one's clear, but rumors are that if Paqueta's name is cleared, we might actually go back for him again in January. So I actually think Paqueta is one midfield option which I'm looking at, but other than that, it's Florian Wirtz is impossible in January. Who are the names? Calvin Phillips is going. But one thing I can say is Calvin Phillips is going, so there is a midfielder coming in. The question is, who is it? There have been two other names linked. Interestingly, I don't know who you guys would like. Ruben Neves and Douglas Luiz are two names that are linked with us. I was thinking about it. Douglas Luiz would be a bomb. Douglas Luiz would be a clutch signing if we can get him of Villa. Will be difficult. I think realistically, I don't know about the Paqueta situation right now, but realistically, I think it's Ruben Neves. What do you guys think about Ruben Neves? I think realistically, Ruben Neves is the one who we might get. Ruben Neves could be interesting, but my preference is Lucas Paqueta. My preference is Lucas Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta, Kevin De Bruyne, and Rodri will be the best midfield. Will be one of the best midfields we'll see. Literally, I mean, wow, that midfield will have pace, power, and everything. So I'm hoping we go in for Lucas Paqueta if everything's clear. But I think it's Ruben Neves who is actually who it seems we might be getting. To be honest. Bayaji says, when going gets tough, the tough start to get going. Come on, City. Come on, City. We always, like I said earlier, we always rise from the ashes like a phoenix. We are City. We have seen the lows and we always shine when the night gets dark. It is when all hope is lost that City come alive. We have shown it last season, the season before. Never write us off. Even if you write us off, Arsenal wrote us off last season. Arsenal fans wrote us off last season, and we still haunt them like a devil. So we haunt Liverpool fans like a devil. Everyone who has written City off, all of the opposition fans, we are still haunting them. That's how good the City team is. Vinay says we'll have the last laugh. Not, not just laugh, Vinay will crush our opponents, will crush up our opponents. And I think it's interesting because Pep has given a bit of a hint of this in a way in a press conference. You know what is said in the pre-match press conference before Spurs? He said that I'm very happy that our supporters have supported us during the good times. I really hope and I'm not hope. He said I'm very confident that our supporters will back us if the bad times come as well because this is football. Anything can happen. So I think he was maybe aware that the tactical things and stuff is telling we could maybe drop points in few of the games. I don't know, but the press conference sort of reflected a bit of that what Pep said because it was strange. Pep never talks about the result in a press conference or points. Pep says process this and that. So that was interesting to be honest. Vinay says Ruben Neves over 60 million and Paqueta must be bought in January. I think when if we sign both Ruben Neves and Lucas Paqueta, that could just be so interesting. But again, I don't think we'll sign both. I think it's Paqueta or Ruben Neves, and I think I would like to have Paqueta over Ruben Neves because I think Paqueta is the more complete player. Paqueta is the more underrated player. City scouting superb. That no team went for Paqueta, and it's just that we are going. There was Julian Laurels. I think everyone know he comes on ESPN FC, and Julian Laurels was actually telling when City were linked to Paqueta. He told if City get Paqueta, the league's over. He literally said this point. Julian Laurels, French journalist, he literally said one sentence. He said if City get Paqueta, the league's done. I just think we get. I just hope we get Paqueta. To be honest. Bayaji says that troika of Silva, KDB, Dino was amazing to watch. They deserved a CL. It is a generational midfield. It's a generation. Bayaji, I compare that midfield to Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. I know that Barcelona fans will tell where is the CL Champions League and stuff, but that midfield is a generational midfield. That midfield will be in the top three midfields of all time, of all generations. That midfield got us a century of point. I mean, that midfield was unplayable, right? Silva had control, had everything, and then Kevin De Bruyne had the power. And Fernandinho was, I think Fernandinho had he had the engine, he had everything. He held everything together. I mean, Fernandino was just superb. I mean, anyway, guys, it's been a performance right from the Chelsea thing. It's just been a barrage of draws in the PL. Chelsea draw, Liverpool draw, Spurs draw. Okay, we haven't lost, but it's been a barrage of draws. Vinay says getting chased is scary, so prefer to chase. Remember, we were like 15 points ahead, but lost so many points until 1 point difference to Liverpool. That season, right, 2 seasons back, it was when Bernardo Silva was playing false nine. To be honest, I think right, 1920 season was it? I don't remember the year, but it was Bernardo Silva was in awesome form that season. He was having same amount of goals as Salah in the first half. He was in superb form, and then I think that was the season when we lost 3-2 to Spurs at home, and we lost to Spurs away as well, and then it came down to 1 point, and then and 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 then I also think that was the same season, right? West Ham and stuff. To be honest, yeah. I mean that was a scary season. Not a scary season, but yeah, and also when City are chasing, I think Arsenal, Liverpool, whoever is ahead of us, their nerves will be jangling. Their nerves will just be jangling so much. City are chasing. You have seen what happened. Arsenal were literally 8 points ahead of us with a game in hand, and they draw, and still they were in a Arsenal were in a position last season that even if they lost to us twice, they could have comfortably gone on and won the title, and yet they dropped so many points. Pep knows, I think, when to put the pressure, when to knock the pedal on. So I think just hashtag believe in Pep, believe in City. Here we come. I think the winter months have arrived. It's getting cold, and City are city are the winter city, and people should be scared. I think I was a bit scared that we were not we were not getting back to our usual winter form where we are experimenting things and stuff. So so I, ju- so I just think that we just need to keep believing in the team, and I think come the second half of the season, I think Pep Guardiola will have us where we need to be. I think January will be the key, and let us see what Pep can do in January, to be honest. Vinay says yes, yes, and good night. Blue Shark will come and crush you down. Blue Shark has not yet smelled blood. That's why Blue Shark is taking rest and recuperating. Once Blue Shark wakes up and smells blood, which color is Arsenal, by the way? Red. Which color is blood? Red. And which color does Blue Shark like red? Which color is Liverpool? Red. Let us chase that red down. Let us chase that red down. And anyway, guys, just take care and see you all. And come on, City will come back from this. So just don't take much stress, and we'll come back stronger. And we have a midweek game now against Aston Villa. So let's be together in this phase, in this dark phase, and we'll emerge out of it stronger, just like we emerged out of it stronger last season when it was just the City fans, the players. It was just one for another. That's all. The entire world was on us. So see you guys, and good night, Bayaji. Good night, Vinay. See you all and take care. Bye.